This episode of the Giant Bombcast is brought to you in part by Lisa, an innovative direct-to-consumer online mattress brand that is also socially conscious. For every 10 mattresses Lisa sells, they'll donate one to a shelter through their 110 program. Lisa mattresses have a universal adaptive feel, meaning it's designed for all types of sleepers, and now they've expanded their offerings to include the Lisa pillow, blanket, foundation, and frame. Try a Lisa mattress in your own home for 100 nights risk-free. It's available in the US, UK, Canada, and Germany. You order it online with free shipping, and this 100% American-made mattress ships compressed in a box right to your door. You want to see one in person, you can go to the Lisa Dream Gallery in Soho, NYC, in Virginia Beach, and over 80 West Elm stores nationwide. Get $100 off when you go to leesa.com/bombcast.
Really not comfortable with the arm gestures taking place in here right now.
We're throwing up our sets.
Throwing bows.
Throwing hands in here.
Yes.
I've been in the training room for 6 hours, just working on my combos.
Built up your
hand
chi.
slap. We used to call that the 100 nugget dip.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like a... Could you mount dip to a wall so that... Because like dip
Totally.
is usually like a downward motion.
But it's very. You have
gotta
to
get
get
it
a
out
really
quick.
viscous dip,
Yeah.
otherwise it'll drip.
I'm known
out.
for my viscous dips.
Make it more of a paste.
Yeah.
Kinda.
You come around to my place, it's not going to be any trouble.
You want to reduce the dip down.
Yeah.
I like a nice dry rub on my nuggets, like
Mhm.
a Chipotle dry rub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just the shake and bake kind of
No,
thing. You know,
no.
they got to rub each individual nugget.
I ask the McDonald's employees to rub
Fresh.
every nugget for me, and they do it. I don't know why.
I mean, the chickens are
They have
massaged
to. They have
while
to.
they're young.
Yeah. That's what, when they say that smiles are free, that's what they mean. Is like, you just have to like imply that like, I am not going to be able to smile. Look, I need this. I need the dry rub.
What is it you need?
I need the dry rub on my nuggets.
You need the nug rub.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it dry.
Some people like to tug them,
Yeah.
but hey,
I think they make a
I like 'em
powder.
rub.
why not do the rub before the tug?
Try to keep it dry. I think that there's a powder
No,
Rub it is
that you can
tugging.
buy.
Yeah. That's what they say. Yeah.
It's February
Tom
the
Cruise
6th.
was in that movie.
It's the Giant Bombcast.
It is?
Hello.
Wow.
Hi.
Ben Pack is back.
Hey.
Pack's back. More like Ben back in the office.
Yep.
It is more like that.
Yeah.
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 Just like that.
I'm back.
You're back.
Welcome.
I'm walking
again.
here. Kind of.
Kinda.
Walked here?
Kind of.
You got
Yeah.
a sick cane that you
what,
came
what,
in
What
with.
percentage of walking capacity are you at?
I'm at the capacity where the day after, so I came by on Friday.
Yep.
It was my first time walking from, the subway basically to work and back.
You did great.
Just like what, 4 or 5 blocks?
Yeah, it's not inconsequential when you haven't been really walking
Yeah.
more than like to the fridge or bathroom for a month and a half.
A month and a half, try 40 years. Pow.
But the next day I woke up and my thighs were on fire. I was like, I haven't been
nice.
exercising these muscles and they have completely atrophied and I need to ease my way into this. But so
It's like
I'm
you were in
better today.
space. It's like
Yeah.
you spent some time in space.
Yeah,
Your
except
muscles
without
went
any
away.
of the fun
Yeah.
or beautiful visuals or
without
Deadly
getting the P
AI
and zero
or-
G.
Yeah.
I did eat some astronaut ice cream.
Mm.
It's very dry.
Dippin' Dots.
No, that's the ice cream of the future.
Oh,
Common
future.
misconception.
Speaking
Not
of dry
space.
nugs,
You need a sauce for that ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a sweet and sour.
Yeah,
like
I'm
at
willing
first
to
I
try.
was with you. I was like, I'm saying a disgusting thing, and I was like, wait, am I?
Oh, we should get some astronaut ice
well,
cream.
like a sweet sour sorbet, I could see.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's like
Maybe no dairy
like
in
a
there, but
basil
like-
sorbet.
Yeah, savory
or-
sorbets.
Meat. Ice.
Don't say anymore.
Meat cream.
I've had a
talk about
salmon
yourself.
ice cream
Yeah.
before.
What's that?
I've had a salmon ice cream before. It's kind of gross.
Ooh.
It was like a weird soft serve. I don't,
Fishy
Fish ice
fish and
cream?
cream.
No one needs that.
I didn't need it,
Yeah.
but I had it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get the caviar down at the bottom, though. It's like boba bubbles.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get the row.
Ugh.
Mm.
Well, on that note,
Welcome to Food Crimes, the podcast.
All right. Great.
All
Let's
right.
get
How do you
into
guys
it.
feel about fish on a pizza, though?
Bad.
What kind of fish?
No.
What kind of
Don't
fish?
do that.
Like tuna.
No, what? No.
I went to a place that had tuna as like one of their advertised main pizzas in San Rafael.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that
And they were saying
Yeah, they
like,
love bullshit in San Rafael.
they were saying like, yeah, it's like a tuna melt, but on a pizza.
Wait, are we talking just like canned tuna?
That's what it looked like.
No, thank you. I'm good.
man.
Okay.
Ugh.
I'm just not a big. I mean, I guess if I was like a huge seafood fan, maybe I would hate it even more then. If I was like the right amount of seafood, if I was seafood indifferent, I
Right.
guess maybe
Right.
I'd be like, sure, whatever. But I don't know. I don't.
I feel like I'm
very much
seafood
at all.
indifferent now at this
Yeah.
point, and I would never fuck with fish and cheese together.
I'm definitely seafood curious, so
Okay.
I would get in on that.
How was it though, Jen?
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
It's like if you get a tuna sandwich at the Subway.
That sounds like something you get in Japan. It's like,
Yeah.
here's a pizza
Yeah.
with tuna and
Yeah.
mayo.
Yeah.
And corn.
Yeah, right.
I do like corn on pizza.
Mm.
I
I can deal with that.
when I was recovering, I bought just like a ton of top ramen, just because I needed something that was really easy to make and kind of tide me over.
Mhm.
Simple boil water, throw some stuff. And I got really creative with my add-ons because, it's like the kind of tried thing is like, oh, put an egg in it and it'll be better.
Sure.
And so I was like, well, I have just like a bunch of canned food around the house. I'm going to go hog wild. The best one I came up with was half a can of corn,
Okay.
top ramen, and
Yep.
a Papa John's butter garlic dipping cup.
Ooh.
Just
Yeah.
right there.
Wow.
Butter corn ramen. Butter corn ramen's a thing.
Huh.
Garlic and ramen's a thing. This is a thing.
I guess.
It was great. It was honestly one of the best ramens I've had.
Okay. Would you,
Homemade, not like
would-
at a restaurant.
Would you do it again? Will you do it again?
I would, and I could if I had more Papa John's garlic cups around the house.
Hmm.
Wasn't the ratio to ramen to corn just completely off though? If you take half a can of corn,
That's a lot of
well,
corn.
it was a little can, and I did a packet and a half.
Little
Okay.
I
nips.
was, I was extra hungry.
Are you making all this in the cup?
No,
I
it's
feel like
for
that
the
cup's going to be
bricks.
overflow. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I would throw it in the pan
Got
after.
fancy.
Oh, this was not
Yeah.
a cup of
Yeah.
noodle. I see. Did you still do the egg?
I still did the egg.
Okay.
Good.
Egg's like almost mandatory.
Okay. You just crack it in there raw?
I whisked it first and then poured it in
Okay.
whisked and let it sit for a minute and then
Yeah.
broke it apart.
All right.
Hmm.
Sounds like some good ramen.
That
Did
does sound
you-
all right.
Play any video games?
No.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
Actually, that's kind of all I did.
Yeah. Hit us. What you got?
Oh boy. Well, I've checked in here and there with what I played over the break, but most recently, is specifically the last 48 hours, I've been getting big back into Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yes.
Now that I've kind of, it released, but it was kind of a busy time between that and Monster Hunter, and then I was playing Yakuza and some other games at the time. But this is the first time I've kind of sat down in training mode, just worked on combos. I spent just a night working on combos, kind of refining my team a little bit, changing it around.
Who is your team?
So, all right, on point. We got the coolest Super Saiyan of them all, Trunks. He's got a sword.
He's got a sword.
Trunks
got
has
a
a sword.
sword.
What do you think
Sick
about that?
jacket,
He's got that. The down back is that weird flip,
Yeah.
that air flip that you can kind of.
It's cool
Pull a air fireball out of it. but,
Yeah,
like,
and you
what-
can like call an assist and then flip over to
Okay.
the other side, and so make it kind of ambiguous of
Yeah.
what you're gonna do. In the middle, got the smartest Super Saiyan, obviously, adult Gohan.
Okay.
He's a genius. He's a nerd. Sorry, I don't want to spoil anything for Dragon Ball Z, but he's more of a book guy than Goku.
Gotcha.
He enjoys learning, but he's also very powerful.
Is he a
he
better
goes
father?
to college.
He does. He
Yeah.
goes to college.
Smart.
I mean, in those first few episodes, he does say that he wants to be a scholar when he grows up.
Okay,
so I don't
good.
know. That's not
I
necessarily.
didn't know how early they kind of sowed that seed
Yeah.
there, but he is definitely a smart guy. And then on,
Goku's kid?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, half human, half Saiyan.
Mm.
They say that makes them more powerful. I don't know if they actually say that. I feel like they
They
might
cut
have said
out
that
all
at
the
one
fluff,
point.
and you only get the good Saiyan.
Exactly,
Stuff,
you
right?
get like the power of a Saiyan, but with the compassion of a human.
Oh,
so it
nice.
makes you just the ultimate
the
warrior.
worst of both worlds. Wait, it makes you the ultimate warrior? That explains a lot.
Yeah, that explains his tail.
That was always weird. He would grab the ropes and start shaking them, and you see that tail, and you're like, "What the fuck is going on? Why would they attach a tail to a wrestler?" Turns out,
He was born with it.
yeah.
And then on Anchor, the most powerful Super Saiyan of them all, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue Goku.
Blue Goku. Blue hair.
Goku. Blue
Okay.
hair.
What's the acronym?
Gotcha.
SSGSS.
Okay.
That's
Rolls off the
it's a
tongue.
jet
I think
gas.
people just commonly say like Blue Goku or Goku Blue.
That's what I'm going.
Um,
Go
What
blue.
makes Goku Blue different from Goku?
He's got more. He's more about like mix-ups. He's all about like instant transmission combos. He has kind of 4 different teleports he can do. I really like his assist. It's kind of just like a downward air kick. I think he's just all around a pretty strong character. I just needed someone. So, I've kind of developed a basic strategy with the team where I use Trunks to build a few meters, and then I tag in Gohan, who has like a power-up super. So like I'll do a super with Trunks, tag in Goku, he powers up. He's kind of my main character because both those assists are really good. I kind of use him to do as much damage as I can. And then I just needed one more character who was good on his own, who could utilize meter well. And after doing like a little bit of research, I landed on Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku.
Nice.
So I'm currently regular ass Goku.
Yeah.
Not unlockable Goku.
Super Saiyan Goku.
So I guess yes, it's Super Saiyan Goku. I guess it's not because I think one of the DLC characters is set to be
They did some data mining. Yeah.
regular ass Goku.
Wait, he's not already in the game?
No.
No, you only get
You gotta
Super
pay extra
Saiyan
for regular.
blonde Goku in the game.
Oh.
I hope they give him a spirit bomb.
Like straight up pure human Goku?
Yeah, well,
Like no superpowers Goku?
well, no, like black hair, not fucking. Ah!
Oh, okay.
he's still strong without the hair, but
Still
just
throw
not as-
fireballs or what are we?
Yeah. He does the Kaioken probably, right?
Yeah.
You
Well,
can see-
he can't do the Kaioken unless since he's Super Saiyan, right?
Well, no, I was saying normal Goku.
Oh yeah, that's
would be
Kaioken.
doing- yeah,
Totally.
Kaioken. Does normal Goku ever do a spirit bomb?
Yeah, normal Goku's done a
Okay.
spirit bomb.
I feel like that
Yeah.
should be his level 3. Then
Normal
He's still
Goku
connected with
throws
the people.
throws a fireball in that fight with Raditz.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and his hair doesn't change or nothing. So
Yeah,
he
he's
can
still got
he
the-
can shoot something.
Master Roshi taught him the Kamehameha when he was a child. So
Same. What?
You tell
So
me
yeah,
what
so
stuff I don't wanna
I've been
remember.
using the Super Saiyan Goku, regular ass Goku. Well, I guess not. Okay, not
He
regular.
seems fun.
The Goku that is in the game currently.
Ryu.
Yeah, Ryu. Yeah, how about that?
Okay.
Yeah, he's got because more Ken because he has like an upward
Yeah. He's got the,
hurricane.
it's kind of more like a Soul, if anything.
Yeah. Yes. Or like Street Fighter EX Ken, where they
Yeah.
had that weird upward thing.
Oh, sure.
Anyway, I've been using him, and I've been using Trunks, but Trunks I think right now might be the weak link here because I'm not finding a lot to do with that flip.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not finding good ways to work it in.
Is that more
and-
for mix-ups or
Yeah, I think
Not like a
it's
combo
kind of like
finisher or anything?
to be a mix up because you can
so an opener?
it's
of
your
sorts?
cortical back move. You do a flip, and then you can either do a beam out of it, a normal, or nothing. You
Okay.
Just land.
So it's
then-
almost like a short hop jump in a way, but you can do it forward or back.
Cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the EX1 is just faster.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not gotten into very many EX moves at all. Actually.
Yeah.
Do you get armor on EX moves or?
Not
No?
usually. There
would
are
be
probably
kinda
some
scary,
characters
actually.
who do.
And then my third has been Goku Black.
He's very good
yeah.
from what I've seen.
I'm liking Goku Black in terms of gameplay
That stuff's like $200 a bottle, isn't it?
No, the Goku Black you're mistaken. You're thinking of Black Label.
Okay.
Goku Black Label is
Okay.
Goku Black is a coffee like mixed
I
with
see.
Goku.
Okay. That's that really high caffeine one.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Got it.
And they only sell it in Africa now for
Oh,
whatever reason. But
okay.
it's for a while it was available in the States.
I see.
And it was disgusting, but I couldn't stop drinking it. So I don't know. Yeah, Goku Black has like that. It's that forward rush with fireballs
With
coming
fireballs,
out of
yep.
it.
Yeah.
That seems like a really good way to close distance.
Doesn't he have
and-
like a grab beam attack? His level 3 beam, his friend comes out and grabs you and he shoots a beam and you can't move.
I think that's right.
Like he charges up for a couple seconds, so if you
Yeah.
know it's coming, you can get out of the way. But it's a projectile grab, basically. Grab projectile.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's been my team so far, and that's been serving me pretty well.
Cool.
But I'm starting to think that I can do better than Trunks in that team.
Maybe.
For as much as I do like Trunks.
His assist is really strong.
Yeah.
It has a beam, so it's like basically he comes out, dashes, and does a big explosion that also has a beam or a projectile blocker, so you can use it against
cool.
like it's not useful against beams, but you can like the individual projectiles. It'll block those.
Is it the same thing? Is it the same thing as like the down back blast where he rushes in and
Yes.
explodes? Okay.
Yeah.
What's up with Trunks?
What's up with
Like-
Trunks is he's got a cool jacket
Okay.
and a sword.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't
He's
know.
definitely the most stylish
What else you need?
character
Hmm.
I can think
Yeah.
of, at least main
Is he
character.
like human looking?
Yeah,
Because there are people who are green.
I think he's human.
He's Vegeta's son.
Everything
there's
I've been led
robots.
to believe so far is that he's probably
When you select him on the character select screen, he says, "I used a time machine to come back from the 10 years in the future."
All right.
that's his opener. First words out of his mouth.
Okay.
You're like,
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
10 years in the future.
I finally changed the voices to English. I kept forgetting.
Yeah.
I was doing it like per platform. So I went back and started playing on Xbox One, only to realize that I never match up with other human players.
I was actually going to ask you what the player base was like on Xbox.
I think it's broken.
Oh,
I
it's
think
not.
there are a ton of players because
I've
the
heard that
lobbies are
too.
full.
Oh, okay.
But when I go to try to ranked or casual or anything like that,
Nothing.
it will match with a player, and then I will hit start to accept the match, and then it never follows through.
Huh.
It could be that, like, sometimes I've missed things because that metal magnify. It's not. The matchmaking isn't the best it could be, I think. Because basically, if you want to do a ranked or a casual match, you have to enter matchmaking, and a little magnifying glass appears in the corner of your screen. And it's basically like it's searching.
looking,
And then that'll change and say match found, and both players have to like hit start and accept the match.
Okay.
And so if one player misses that,
you can auto that though, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
But by default, you have to opt in once it finds the match. So if you've gone off to practice, you might be in the middle of something and just miss it, and have it go away.
What
So
other? Oh, sorry.
It could just be that, but I don't know.
What other platform were you on?
PC.
Was do you have any problems
No.
there? A lot of people because
No.
we played it on UPF and like, it was just fucking lobbies were overflowing.
Right. Yeah. Yes. But the lobbies were pretty full on Xbox as well. It was just for whatever reason I was never getting a match.
How
on
is it
PC, I've
X
been getting-
enhanced? Have you noticed any real changes in the visuals?
I watched the Digital Foundry video.
really?
They're basically the like PS4 and Xbox both like super
seems
high.
like
pretty
res.
on par.
They're-
It seems like
they're not-
resolution. Like it
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
nice.
Like,
But
Xbox One is a little higher resolution than
Okay.
PS4, but they're basically
So it's hard
They're
to tell.
basically
Yeah.
identical.
I have not seen it. I guess I haven't seen it on PS4 hooked up to a 4K TV.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Like they're both
But-
way over 1080, but not full 4K upscaled.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
It,
Like they
it looks really sharp on the PC.
Yeah.
I'm running it there at like 1600p
Okay.
on a 16:10. So
Do you know if it's still
1440.
running at 60 on the Xbox?
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Have you gotten into ring matches at all? It's kind of like their lobby system. You can host
I've
one.
seen people doing it, but usually they're set to private, or like when I go to look for a fight, I want
says
to
it's
fight
full.
and not watch a fight.
Oh yeah.
So usually I'm trying to just like get in a match or two and not sit there for 2 hours or whatever. So
I've tried it multiple times and it's only worked once,
Mm.
and so I'm wondering if they're still trying to like work out some of the net code or stuff in there. I kind of like the idea. I like setting it, or I joined one that had 3 total spots in it, so it was basically you're out at most one fight,
Right, yeah.
which I enjoyed because the other 2 people that were playing were very good, and I could just kind of watch them and figure stuff out, and then
Spectating
lose
works
to
pretty well.
Yeah, spectating
Great.
seems to work well. You can throw out your Z stamps. And
Yeah.
other spectators will see those.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I found like once I've been in a match, it's played fine.
Yeah.
But I've just had trouble getting into matches.
Okay.
I feel like anything at like a
But
4 or
mostly
5
just on
bar
the
connection.
Xbox, right? Like you were
Mm.
having.
That was mostly on the Xbox.
gotcha.
On PC,
seemed right.
on PC, the matches that didn't work were fewer. And that seemed more like a case of like, because I know I missed a couple of like missing the magnifying glass and missing the match.
Yeah, I'm playing on PS4 and pretty much sounds similar to what you're saying with PC.
I'm excited to play more. We should play more this week.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
I would love to.
I-
It's exciting to see you guys like get into like training mode and like you're actually playing matches online. This is
The
okay.
first
All
first
right.
thing I
I'm in.
did when I got here was we have a little arcade cabinet,
Mm-hmm.
and I switched it from Street Fighter to Dragon Ball Fighters and sat down and just started playing training mode. And I was like, well, nobody's gonna mind.
No,
They've been playing it over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Totally are.
Arcade,
A little
yeah.
bit, yeah.
How much are you guys relying on the auto combos at this point? Like, is that something you just give up on after you get better, or is it always going to be like part of your?
I'd like
toolkit?
to say that I'm not mashing, but I think the reality of it is I am mashing for a while, and then I start to do quarter circles while mashing.
Okay.
So it's
All right.
it is coming out somewhat different.
It's layering.
But yeah, it's
slowly putting stuff on. there.
I am not like fucking deep strategician
Sure.
of the Dragon Ball scene by a long shot.
I'd say at this point I'm about 80% organic combos. I there's a really good video out there by a YouTube fighting game guy named Maximilian Dude. He's been around for a while. Puts out some really high quality content, but
He's been like super focused on Dragon Ball, right?
yeah. He has
And
a really good
Monster
video that's basically like, okay, so the number one question I get is if I want to stop auto comboing, what do I do? And it's like a 12-minute long video, and he really breaks down kind of, there's a universal mechanic in this as well as other ArcSys fighting games where you can jump out of a medium attack. And so you can use that to start an air combo. And basically, like, he showed off that kind of half the cast has this combo that they can all do, and then they can lead to other stuff. And kind of once I watched that, it opened my eyes to like, all right, the auto combo shows me a very baseline version of this advanced combo that he's showing off, so I can kind of, incorporate it. But then as soon as the match starts and the opponent just starts rushing me down, I start to break. So I just need to
It's a fast game.
Yeah. I just need to play more, just grind out some online matches, get used to how the game flows at this point.
Seem like it's got enough depth to kind of have tournament legs.
I think so.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Looking at what people are data mining and looking what the DLC characters appear to be, I was weirdly disappointed, but I can't tell you why, because I don't know who I'm like sitting there going, because I don't know enough about it to go like, oh, it needs this character instead of this.
Not yet.
But at the same, I'm slowly getting
I wish
there.
I had that listed in front of me.
But what is it? It's
Brawly,
which I've seen people say Brawly.
He's from a bunch of movies.
Okay.
That take place in towards the end of Dragon Ball Z. He was built up to be like the god of Saiyans. I don't know.
All right.
He's a big Goku.
I guess I just want Mr. Satan to be in it.
Right.
I feel like they don't. I feel like if they had to put Mr. Satan in the game, they'd have to make him a joke character, and they don't want to waste a slot on a joke character. Is like my gut feeling about why he's not. I disagree.
Yeah.
I think he should be in it, but I can kind of understand why they wouldn't have him.
I guess. But I mean, traditionally, it's Dan and stuff like that in other fighting games.
I feel like
Joke
Arc
characters-
System never really wastes slots on joke characters. I
be
feel
right.
like they're always kind of at least a little bit viable.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if this is just what they're selling. They've been selling the season pass already for these characters. And that's like it's 8 characters, I think. And I wonder if this thing does stay viable long enough for them to like bust out another 8 down the line.
I feel like
another season.
Like
it seems
the
like
impression that I get is that it's selling
the Dragon
very
Ball
well.
property is strong enough to where you could certainly fucking find fighters to put in it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if they're willing to put fucking 4 people with the word Goku in their name into the game.
You also have Teen Gohan, Adult Gohan,
Right.
and Teen Gohan fused with Teen Trunks.
Man. I'm gonna throw away all of those Blu-rays.
Just watch them and then burn them.
Yeah.
Put them in the microwave.
Burn after viewing.
I can't bring myself to unlock Android 21 though. I can't bring myself to play through
Do
that
you have to
story
go through
mode.
the story mode?
Yeah.
Is it story or I thought it was arcade?
There's 2
Arcade gets you the
characters, yeah.
God
Yeah.
Super
Oh,
Saiyans.
okay, that's the other one.
Are those
But that was
characters
also-
unlocked by default?
If you pre-order,
Yeah.
yes.
Pre-order.
So I had a
okay.
code to unlock those guys.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I have Android 21
Okay.
also.
Mhm.
She seems cool.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does actually.
seems
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a bunch of weird like grab moves.
And
that
she like
you've gotta,
steals
power up.
moves.
Or she steals
Oh,
moves.
that's cool.
Yeah.
She's got a series of grab moves that you've got to like enable in order to get like her major fireball. I don't know.
She's
I
like,
just played her in
the
training a
Rubik
little bit.
of Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Okay.
She's neat.
All right.
Yeah. I've enjoyed every character that I've played in that game.
Yeah.
For sure.
Some people were hesitant towards the beginning of the game, seeing like once the full roster was revealed, like, and once people started playing the beta, like, oh, some of these characters are a little samey.
Right.
I think it actually ends up working in its favor to an extent where if you kind of get a baseline understanding of Goku, you can build a full team of characters that you are at least like a little bit proficient with.
Yep.
And then like once you kind of fight against characters like Hit or Majin Buu that are way different, you'll be like, oh, I actually want to learn this guy. And then you can take those fundamentals, they don't fully transfer over, but you can like be like, okay, I'm going to have Goku, Vegeta, and Hit. And then so you can slowly like incorporate weird characters
like
into your
work that
team.
stuff in for sure. The weirder characters in that game seem okay. I was kind of into Nappa for a little while. That might be where I go once I move on from Trunks, because I was finding some early success there, but I'll have to try it online.
I wrote off Android 16. He's the big kind of grappler guy after I've seen people kind of talk shit about him. But then I watched Sonic Fox play him in a tournament in grand finals, and he was just doing the nastiest stuff with him. And I was like, okay, like
Leave it to
this game is still
him
early
to-
enough where every character is viable.
Yeah.
Like, don't listen to anyone. Just
Yeah.
play who you like.
No, the tier list is as follows: Goku, Goku Black, Other Goku, Sun Goku, Party Goku,
The full team of Gokus.
Blue Goku.
All right, last question.
Yeah.
Does Vegeta have anything to do with vegetables?
Yeah.
Like, actually?
He's made of vegetables.
Yeah.
Because that's always been my assumption
His-
based on that
Then
name.
there's that radish guy.
There's a guy named
completely made
Bardock.
of radishes.
Which is it's cabbage, right?
I
It's
think that's right.
I don't know, but Nappa is also a cabbage, isn't
yeah.
it?
Yes.
There's a lot of weird
What?
vegetable
All
Dragon Ball likes to have fun with its name.
all of the Saiyans are basically named after vegetables.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And since Vegeta is the character and the planet, it is that
He's the
that
prince,
is yeah,
and it's
that-
also the name of the
he
planet.
gets the most generic, just vegetable name.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Now you
Glad
know.
I answered.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, now you have an actual Dragon Ball expert
I know.
to
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
if
week.
you go subscribe to the Giant Bomb Presents feed
Yeah.
if you want to hear All Systems Goku, where two anime experts break
Oh,
down
man.
anime.
Just for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Strange times we live in. Speaking
Yeah.
of which,
Look, the world got weird, and the only way to fucking combat that is to just fucking
Watch
out weird it.
anime.
Just roll
Yeah.
with it.
so on,
Finally,
on that note, how's everybody's mon hunting?
Oh, it's so good.
It's going real good.
It's so good.
Yeah, we did a stream
Pretty
yesterday.
good.
Dude, it was kind of cool, man,
Yeah.
having 4 Giant Bomb members in one group.
Yeah.
You, me,
That was my
Jeff,
first time doing
Dan.
multiplayer. That
Oh,
was
really?
cool. Yeah.
That was my first time with 4 people. I'd had some 2-player experience,
Sure.
but yeah.
Yeah, this is different. But I want to hear about how it's been treating you guys. I got to talk ad nauseum last week about how I'm loving the game.
So that was not only my first multiplayer, but also my first time fighting an Anjanath yesterday.
Yeah.
And you guys just kind of like steamrolled it.
Yeah.
Just sort of carried me through it. But then after we quit, I came back later and fought my first one by myself. And had the kind of encounter that like makes the whole game click. And I was
Nice.
like, all right, I fucking get this. 'Cause
Nice.
it was like 30-minute fight, like timing my swings, like, like kind of figured out which hits would like sort of knock him back and stun him.
Sure.
Like managed to hit him with a paratoad at one point, which
Oh,
is like
sweet.
impossible to do. Like got him hung up in some environmental traps.
Vines and stuff.
Like a Toby Kadachi came out of nowhere at one point and started fighting with him too. It was just like this big
Awesome.
like 30-minute like cinematic fight
Yeah, seriously.
with all
yeah.
these crazy things happening. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
all
so
right,
crazy
this is-
how like all these fights can go sideways in different
Yeah,
ways,
yeah.
good and bad.
like in ways that I felt like I never saw on the 3DS. Like maybe just having it on a big TV, there's more spectacle to it.
yeah, there's certainly that, but in this one in particular, there's the environmental stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. There's a
that
little bit
stuff's
of that in
new,
the previews.
right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
mostly new,
more or less.
But then also the monsters fighting one another. That's certainly
Yeah.
a new thing.
Yeah.
So that
That
Lends
just
to
really
some
has
really-
never been in
not
a previous
not
Monster
not
Hunter
to
game?
this extent. Like
Okay.
they sometimes pop up in the same area.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll while they're trying to hit you, they'll accidentally hit the other monster.
And they are doing damage. Like
Oh
That-
yeah,
that counts toward the
absolutely.
fight,
Yeah, I
right?
saw one
Okay.
do like 750 damage
Okay.
to like an Anjanath the other day, but there's certainly not where they're having like interactive moments. There's,
Right.
there's we saw during the stream like this Rathalos just came out of nowhere. I picked up that like I don't know if it was a Jagras or a Rathalos by its neck and just started
Yeah.
swinging it around.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah, it lends. Yeah, there's a lot of cool moments that happen in there. Did
Yeah.
you get to that Zora Magdara
Yeah.
fight?
yes.
I don't think it's too spoilery. But
I'm
I'm curious to know your thoughts.
I
on
did that quest the matchmaking, the squad, everything about getting people into games in that thing is fucking insane.
It's convoluted for sure.
So
yeah.
I had invited a friend of ours who wanted to be in our squad
Uh-huh.
before I did that mission, and he didn't respond. I was like, he's doing something else. So I started that Zora Magdaros mission.
right.
He ended up joining or accepting my invite while I was in the middle of that mission.
Mhm.
So first of all, he got in there and it like broke the checkpoints somehow. Like he
Oh, no.
messaged me afterwards. He's like, "Hey, I think we broke that mission because like we sat there for like 5 minutes with nothing happening, and then all of a sudden the lady came back on and was like, "Hey, now go do the next thing." Like,
Uh-huh.
but also it turns out you can't invite people to your squad in the middle of the mission. So the game just forced him to play out that whole story mission.
Oh,
with me
weird.
before I could even send him. And you can't even invite people into your squad unless they're actively in your session at the time that you're on. Like,
That
there's
sounds
no
right.
way to send offline invites to people to be
Yeah.
in your clan. Like, it's just nuts.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah,
It's so messed
figure
up.
out a
Yeah,
way.
that-
Like
that
I wish
stuff
I could
is-
assign like lieutenants as well because
Yeah,
right now
yes.
it's like only the
Yes.
squad creator
Yep.
have to be online, have to be in the same group, got to be like face to face.
So dumb. I mean, it's cool once you have a squad because then people can just join the squad session.
Once you've overcome those initial hurdles.
So now
matchmaking is a little bit easier, but then there's still the story mission stuff that you got to work. Anyway,
I think that Zora Magdaros mission is bad. I think it ends well, but like it's the first like big departure from hey, go hunt a thing.
Yep.
And but you know, having this fight of just like, okay, just load these cannonballs and ballista or whatever and shoot at this thing for fucking forever.
Yeah, and it's
so I had a similar thing. That was
with
before the game was out, and that was I had a stranger join my game while I was doing that, and it just I don't know.
Is it supposed to do that? So? Well, first of all, like the dude like crashes through multiple barricades. Is there any flexibility there? Can you like do enough damage to stop him?
I bet not, but I don't know.
Okay,
I think a lot of that stuff is kind of.
It was in between the first and second barricade when you get on its back and they're just like kind of hitting the weird pyramid looking things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we did all that, and the lady was just like, "Oh, you did it! Like that was the last one." And then like 5 or 10 minutes of just running around doing fucking nothing.
Yeah, it should have.
And then it finally triggered like the next story thing. Like
we definitely had a moment where we were running around looking for the next thing.
Oh, really?
But there was a thing. There was a thing we were specifically looking for. So it didn't say like, "Hey, you've done it." It was more like, all right, there's another one. You need to get here. And I was like, okay, I'm running around in circles. Like, there's nothing guiding me in any direction. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, here's a cutscene. And we just kind of happened upon it. And that was a little frustrating. But I think, like, that mission ends well because it ends in, you know, a more traditional fight against a monster the same way every other mission is. So, like, the minute they abandon this, like, fantastical giant monster thing in favor of a more traditional encounter, it gets good. And I think actually
you're fighting an elder dragon on the back of an elder dragon.
Yeah, it's rad.
Pretty great.
It's a rad moment with that monster from the beta, and
Gigante.
And that's like a really cool encounter, and like the context for it of fighting it on the back of the thing that you see at the that you're on the back of at the very opening of the game.
It's like there's a huge scale to it, and there's like everything is all lava. And like it's
it builds to like this really cool moment. But I think everything you do in that mission up to that specific thing at the very end,
fighting those cores if you're not
sucks.
properly spec'd, it kind of drags on.
And so the guy that joined my game had a bow, and so he was able to you're fighting these lava cores that are on this dragon's back. And they're emitting lava as they go. So as someone with up close fucking dual blades, I'm just on fire constantly. I mean, you can roll out of the way. But
they come in timers. Like, you know, there's definitely windows that you can get.
There's a little tell about where they're going to shoot out. So between them.
And I started dodging them, but at some point it was just like, this isn't doing enough damage for me to even care. I'm just going to use potions and just fucking stab.
And also
at
the end of the day, all you're doing is just hitting a stationary object over and over for like 10 minutes. Like it's not.
It doesn't like the particulars of it, like the specifics of like, hey, here's what this is in context, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
But how they execute it in terms of check out this video game, I think is super disappointing.
It's tough, when you've got like a big spectacle moment like that. You know, I look back at like God of War games and stuff like that. There's big, you know, the huge
like
monster
Shadow
fights.
Of the Colossus, you know,
but it's like, okay, all right, there's a bunch of like QTEs sometimes, you know. Yeah, I get that, but
I don't know. Like,
but that big spectacle is something that's been done in Monster Hunter before. But yeah, it's nice to see it on a big screen like this. It's cool.
So we streamed for a while yesterday and fought like 3 Anjanaths. And
we were getting you guys some gear.
Yeah, so I
Rathian.
I built some Rathian gear after that because I had enough for like 3 parts of the set, and then kept going. And so I was on the mission where you fight. Was it
Legiana?
Yeah. And so I went and did that, and then like similar to how you were saying, like, oh man, I had this big epic encounter. Like that was like 45 minutes disappeared, and suddenly it was like, hey, you have 5 minutes left. I'm like, oh no, this thing's like almost dead, and it just flew away to the highest point of this zone. And so it was this feeling of just like, I've got to fucking get up here and do this. And I got up there and did it, and like finished it with minutes to spare.
Nice.
Oh, thank God!
When it all comes together, it's super exciting.
Yeah, like honestly, I think if I had not finished that, if I had run out of time on that, I probably would have never played that game again. Because it was such a chore to chase it around. It was also that was like a good moment of just like, I should probably check out some different weapons. Because like really solo with dual blades, like even though I
can see that bit.
I upgraded them 2 or 3 times. Sure. Yeah, super monotonous.
Yeah.
Super monotonous.
What kind of sucks with the when you're upgrading weapons is really not too much of a visual change. It's
Right.
not enough,
Yeah.
certainly, especially if you're sticking to like the steel route or the bone route. They stay the same.
Well, I don't.
visually
It's like
throughout
I don't
the
want to stick to
entire-
the bone route, but
Right.
those were the parts I got.
Sure.
And so I was like, well, I guess I need to move up. And so if I eventually get some flame sacks, I could go back down and go to the Anjanath path and go that way.
Start doing some fire damage. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Move over to the switch axe, you can start shooting fire or lightning
yeah,
out of
that-
your thing.
And stick your goddamn sword to the monster and hang on to it. Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, I think Switch Axe is probably where I'm going next. But I'm probably going to buy the base level Switch Axe, upgrade it a couple of times, and then just go fight low level monsters until I get good with it.
Yeah.
That seems like the only
It's
way
pretty
to go.
slow. I mean, that's the one downside. Is
Yeah.
like you commit to your swings, and like sometimes the monsters don't give
The
a
thing
fuck.
with the
They
dual
just
blades
move.
is like once you there are combos with the dual blades that force you to commit also. So it is still that same it is still a lot faster, but it is very much still that same push and pull of like, do I hit triangle once or twice here? Like how much of the combo am I going to commit to here in case I need to roll away? And when you overextend, you get hit every time. So but then I fought the
Otogoron?
Otogoron.
Okay.
That was a good fight that I thought broke at one point.
Oh, no.
Because it just disappeared through a wall.
Oh, yeah. They
do that.
They're
Yeah,
on
they do
little
that.
shortcuts
But, like,
to get away.
But the way it looked is it had picked up a Legiana that was down there.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Legiana.
Legiana.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway. And then it seemed like it had picked it up, and then both of them just kind of floated through the wall without animating.
Oh, really? He was probably dragging it through.
Yeah.
He'll eat one.
He
during
did.
that fight.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did. And but it just disappeared.
Okay.
And then reappeared in the nest. And so from, having never seen that before, watching that, I'm like, oh, this totally broke. I'm glad the game has recovery to respawn it at the
gotcha.
nest.
Yeah.
But if it respawned with all its health, like a fresh monster, then this is broken in a bad way. And I got over there and it was still all fucked up. So whatever, I finished the fight. And then later on in the fight, it crawled through another one. And I was like, oh, it's supposed to do that. It's just supposed to animate while it's doing it.
Yeah. For whatever reason, it didn't.
For
at
whatever
that
reason,
point.
it didn't. And I was like, man, that thing just totally fucking vanished through a wall. What the fuck?
Did you see the armor that you can get from Otogoron?
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. That's
It's
probably the coolest looking armor in
I-
the game that I've seen.
I think it's my favorite.
I started buying those parts.
Okay.
I got like enough parts for 2 pieces of it out
Wait,
of that.
you can buy parts?
No. I started building the armor.
Oh,
with
okay.
the parts, sorry.
Okay.
But also, yes, kind of.
I was gonna say if I don't have to fight
Yeah.
5 Anjanaths in a row
They're-
anymore to finish that set, then
There's there's a melder section where you can
Huh.
actually kind of trade in some items or some commendations that you've received.
okay.
The Wyverian prints to trade in for some of the more
Oh, is
rare,
that what
like
those are
like an
for?
Anjanath plate
Those-
or
those
something
prints?
like that. Yeah.
But yeah, but it's not like you can walk in there and just be
Right.
like,
Give me
I
that.
need 2 flame
Here's a
sacks
bunch
and
of
one
blue
of these.
mushrooms.
It's like I finally unlocked that last night,
Mm-hmm.
and it is not as good as I was hoping it would be in
Yep.
terms of just like getting you the parts you want.
I've never used it once.
And then
I keep
also-
going back there whenever
yeah,
I get new inventory.
Like the way it is built is like a little confusing because
Yeah.
you're trading in items for points,
Yep.
and then you have points with the melder that you use to get.
Wait, separate from research points?
Yeah,
Oh.
but you also use research
It's like
points
their
to
own
do
inventory. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
it didn't need to be this way. Like looking at it,
You saying something in Monster Hunter is more
Yeah.
complicated than it needed to be.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
those,
But,
those
I mean,
lucky vouchers actually, I think, mitigate a lot of my
They'll get you
earlier
some more
issues
stuff.
with like some of the more repetitive tasks in that game.
Sure.
Um,
Totally. But yeah, I think we had a great time. There was
Yeah,
a lot
it was
of
fun.
like really cool moments in
Yeah.
there, even though we were just like mainly fighting an Anjanath.
Sure,
the
but
entire
it
time.
exposes you to techniques and tricks and all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
I mean,
Yeah.
just by not having the cat with you,
Yeah.
Like that.
You're like, I got to heal myself.
Right?
What?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
the cat will throw out. I mean, you can set what equipment the cat uses,
Mm-hmm.
but like mine is using that Vigor Wasp spray, so it is
That's super
constantly
helpful.
healing me, and so I use way fewer potions and stuff like that during a fight
Sure.
than I do when I'm playing with other humans or you know or whatever. So
it's just I found it very educational. You know, like the game has so much complexity and it's so stubborn about communicating all that stuff to you that just seeing you guys like like Dan used a trap at one point and there's that thing you can drop on the ground that spews health out and like, I didn't know about any of that stuff.
That's
like it's cool just to like kind of learn the things that I'm not doing already.
Yeah, just slowly layering that stuff on. Like Dan didn't really know about bombs.
I didn't either. So that's now I'm carrying bombs
barrel
with
that
me.
he just like planted next to the sleeping monster. And
I figured he had to throw it or something. It's like, no, wait for the guy to go to sleep. We'll set up a trap, and then we'll set off those bombs.
I wish that it had something like the training room for weapons, but for all items, like somewhere where you could just like, okay, here's what the barrels do.
Okay.
Here's or even just like a better tutorial about here's how to capture a monster. And here's the other stuff you can do with a monster.
Okay.
In terms of like vine traps and all this, or the shock traps and that sort of stuff. I wish there was something.
Those kind of work the same.
They do, but like I just wish there was like. I don't feel like there was anything that like taught me how to capture a monster.
Yeah.
Or showed me like what items I would even use to do it. So it was more of a feeling of just like.
Yeah. There's
okay,
really
well,
just
I'm not using a bow or the gun, and those are the things that have the sleep ammo.
Mm-hmm.
What do I need to trigger? Like it was very unclear.
They have that one quest that's like it's a main story quest where they force you to capture something, and
So
they give you the tools and they kind of walk you through.
That
it,
was
but-
the one where I had another player jump in and immediately do it and quit.
Nice.
Gotcha.
So-
So you missed all that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Can you
So
replay like story quests?
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to go into the optional stuff. You can't go to assigned again, but they should pop up again. Totally. Like
So
even that Zora quest that you did last night, that big cinematic one.
Yes.
You can
You can just go back and.
it recycle, like it'll come by like it's a special event or something like that.
Okay.
So you can go through it.
Wait, I thought I heard the story like makes you do that mission.
Yeah, you have to
over.
over and over.
Is that not true?
No.
Okay.
Twice maybe.
I've seen a bunch of people complaining about those missions.
I've
having
done
to
it.
do them
well,
too many times.
I've done it twice so far
Yeah.
throughout the course of the whatever. But
Right now, I'm just trying to get my hunter rank to 6 so I can do that stupid Horizon mission before it
Oh,
expires in 48 hours. Because why would you make the exclusive platform content limited to like a week and a half after the game comes out? I don't.
This is weird. I got the cat armor.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
and there's a weapon, so you build the full set, but then also that puts a watcher, like a matching weapon in there, and you need one more item. So I've run that
3
event
total,
quest
yeah.
3 times.
Haven't gotten it.
No, you get it every time.
Oh,
you need 2 for the armor and then 1 for the weapon,
Oh.
but you also need an electro sack for the weapon, which I don't have.
Okay.
okay.
Is that just a generic item that's not going to
Boy, I hope so.
expire day
Uh,
after tomorrow?
What's that? Which
the
item?
electro sack.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
probably just like a flame
That's just a
sack, right?
regular,
yeah. Fight a bunch of Tobies.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got my Watcher glass prior to it expiring, so I should steal, but still be able to make that thing even if it expires. So
Should be able to. Yeah, I think so.
I love that game's personality. Like, I didn't know what a guild card was until yesterday, and then I went and made one, and then I started looking at all of you guys'
You just
guild
start
cards.
posing
and,
your
like,
dude
it's
and
just,
stuff?
the
Yeah.
poses and the messages are like the titles that you can make, and like,
it really is just like that.
it's goofy as
like,
shit.
It's backwards in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
and it feels like a game that came from an alternate universe where Phantasy Star Online never died.
Okay.
It came from my heart.
Yeah.
You're about to say is a game that feels like it come from an alternate reality. It's a Capcom game.
Like, it,
Right,
it,
yeah.
it feels like an online game from 2004, 2005.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
just
Like you see,
Unconventional
you
in
see
weird
Monster
ways,
Hunter
and-
PS2
Yeah.
in that thing
Yes.
in a
Yep.
few too many ways.
Totally.
Where I remember that thing coming out and trying to get into it, and even then I think the talk was like, well, if you like Phantasy Star, this is kind of in line with that.
Yeah.
And trying to get into
That got
it,
me
and being
into
like,
it, but
and
that's
then weren't
not
they
what
charging.
hooked me.
They were charging for Hunter's licenses at that point too, right? Because eventually PSO started to charge.
What? I think no, I don't think
and
so.
I'm trying to think if PS2 Monster Hunter made you pay.
I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'll bring it in again. We played it on UPF not too long ago.
Really?
But
Yeah.
Oh, the first Monster Hunter?
yeah.
Yeah, that was eye-opening.
I remember standing around desks watching that thing be played after hearing all this stuff about like, oh, it's there's some Fancy Star in there, and then like watching it get reviewed and just going like, man, fuck this.
But I was
holy
totally
shit.
into that because it was so like unconventional, and I think once I broke down those barriers. It really sunk its hooks.
I mean, there's a
has
little
ever since.
part of me with the new one every once in a while going, "Fuck this shit." You
Yep.
know,
Yeah, no,
but
totally. That's-
infrequently.
Yeah, there are
Not very often, and it's not that big a deal
Yeah,
anymore.
Yeah,
But it's kind of still
It's
there.
a little easier to overlook now with everything else
Yeah,
being
yeah.
so much better.
Where are you at? Are you just like on farm status with that game at this point, or are you pretty much just
I'm
like
chilling. Like,
building
I've got
stuff
like
you-
3 Elder Dragons that I've got to take down, and a little bit more after that. But I'm not like in a rush. Like last night after I got home, I chilled out and did some expedition quests, cleared out some more delivery stuff that I needed to do.
But you finished the story, right? Like you
No.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't have a huge rush to do it.
Alright.
I don't need to right now. But
Well,
It's about the hunt, not the trophy.
Yeah.
of course.
In the previous games, like the single player and the multiplayer were like pretty separate things,
Yeah, they were
right?
segregated. It was
Yeah.
super weird.
Yeah.
It was tough keeping track of that. Like you'd have to do stuff in solo in order to unlock stuff in multiplayer, or vice versa.
Yeah.
It was not great. It was a big pain in the ass.
I know they've said they're going to
It's
put
better.
out free monster DLC,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I wonder what else they're going to do to like keep this thing going, because it seems like it's blown up. enough.
If they
got
they
that
keep on the
Ryu.
course that they've established in previous games, all their DLC's been free for the most part. They have a lot of collaborations with other games, and there was a steady stream of like new events or new arena things
Okay.
or new costumes to get throughout the course of the series.
That's
So
cool.
If they
That's
keep
exciting.
that up, that's great.
Yeah.
What if they had Dragon Ball costumes?
They could. Why not?
Huh.
They could have
What
a
a-
Ryu. I'm gonna be able to shoot a heavy bow gun with Ryu.
Yeah.
At
they
Elder
gave Ryu a
Dragons.
gun.
Oh, God.
Finally.
Ryu is the gun. Marbles. He's a
saw-
gun wizard.
I saw him shooting a fireball. I think in the trailer.
Hmm.
That's.
It's probably
very
just a gesture, though, right?
Probably, but
Yeah.
still.
Just wait to the part in Dragon Ball Z where they actually get to the actual wizards, like Bibidi.
Okay.
Because there are wizards in
All
the
right.
Dragon Ball Z universe.
Yeah. Sure. Why not?
All right, this podcast is getting too weird. We need to take a break.
Hold on.
Let's come back from a break and talk
Wait.
about something normal.
Wait, before we go,
What?
I don't want to like reopen old wounds or anything.
This is normal, by the way. It's
but
a
I-
new norm.
I just found a fingernail.
Nope.
God
All right.
damn it, Ben!
Put that in the trash and let's take a break.
No, leave it there. We're
Nope.
gonna get to the source of this.
We'll be right back.
All right.
This episode of the Giant Bombcast is brought to you in part by Burrow.
Like a donkey?
No, like digging under, like a burrow.
Oh, that kind of
with
burrow.
A W, with a
Okay.
W, yeah. These are handcrafted in the USA and sustainably sourced fabrics and hardwood. Burrow makes luxury couches for real life.
Yeah.
It's the same quality you expect from like a high-end retailer without breaking the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can customize it. You can get like, how many seats do you want? You want 2 seats, 3 seats, 4 seats? What do you
Let's say 3.
Okay, yeah, 3. That's a good.
That's the most people I ever want to have in my house
Yeah.
at one time.
Is that including you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Maybe I should take this thing down to 2. Now that you mention it.
Yeah. If you take it down to 2, then that's a love seat at that point. You can customize, the size, color, armrest height. You get the couch that's perfect for you. They're even stain resistant.
Whoa.
That's right. That's right. Stain resistant.
What kind of stains are we talking?
Hey, look. Are you spilling cake on a couch?
Maybe.
Are you spilling wine on a couch?
Very possibly.
Then you're going to probably want a stain resistant couch.
Yeah.
And
That's probably true.
Hey, let's say you're on the couch, phone dying.
Mm-hmm.
Built-in USB charger.
What?
That's right. There's a USB port on this couch.
Couch can't have that.
It can.
That's
It
what?
does.
Huh.
Burrow makes it happen. All Burrow furniture is easy to put together and take apart. It's no tools. You don't tear stuff. No, you're not like hammering in nails. You bolt it together. You clamp it together. You screw in the legs by hand. You know, it's all stuff you can just do. You can just do.
DIY.
Exactly. Do it, yo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can enjoy 30 days of cozy on your Burrow risk-free. And if you choose not to keep it, the return process is simple. You can go try a Burrow couch for yourself. Order it today, and it'll ship in just 1 week. If you use the promo code BOMBCAST at burrow.com, you'll get $50 off your order. That's BURROW.com, and then the offer code in all caps, BOMBCAST.
Okay, Ben, what did you learn during the break? Have you conducted any forensic investigation?
It belongs to a
Yes.
human. That's all I got. It is human,
Gonna run a
for better or worse.
DNA analysis.
I sent it to the lab, the
Okay.
same lab that was in what's like a CBS show that has like a crime lab.
CSI.
CSI. Is
Crime
that
lab.
CSI? Okay, I didn't know CSI
You
was
gotta do
NBC.
your
MacGyver.
I
IT
sent it to
training.
the
NCIS.
CSI. My best friend in elementary school's mom worked for like a crime scene lab, and my mom was like talking to her one day, and she's like, "What's the like least realistic part of the show compared to like your life?" And she's like, "How well dressed everyone is."
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. Identity of the
TBD.
perpetrator yet to be revealed. Stay tuned until next week. Ben, you mentioned during the break that you've been playing Fortnite.
Yeah, I booted up. So I was having trouble sleeping one night, and I went on Twitch to like maybe watch a Dota stream or something. So it's helped me fall asleep. Say what you will
Yeah,
about
sure.
Dota and that. But one of my favorite streamers was playing Fortnite with some other Dota people. I was like, oh, I'll watch this because I never really watched Fortnite Battle Royale. I mean, I knew how it played or whatever. But they're all very good at the game, and they made it look extremely exciting. They were doing stuff like just constructing ramps straight up so they can jump down and shotgun people who were like camping in towers and stuff. They were just like,
wow.
they won like 3 times in a row, and they were just goofing off and having a really good time. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll give this a shot. You know, I've been playing more and more PUBG lately. I want to just like compare and contrast. And so I booted it up, and I'm having a ton of fun with it. I get it. I get how it's different. I like how it's different. I don't necessarily think I like it more or less because it
It's
is
different enough.
It's
yeah.
different enough for me, and I think it appeals more to what I like in shooters, like not shooting, not having to be good at shooting necessarily. I mean, they have since in the past few months they've updated stuff about like assault rifle accuracy and like damage drop off and stuff like
And
that.
I think they're running like a shooting. They announced they were going to make big changes to shooting.
Yeah.
And I think they're running one of those tests right now. I was reading about like first shot accuracy is one
Yeah.
of the things they're testing right now in terms of just like the first shot is accurate. After that,
The spray,
recoil,
yeah.
the spray will be this, and they're adjusting, different headshot damage for shotguns and different headshot damage across the board and that sort of stuff.
Like I'm more about like I like movement. I like using shotguns. I like getting in close, and like I like the building aspect of it. I'm still not nearly like good enough at thinking about like, okay, somebody's shooting at me. What can I do right now? Whereas in PUBG, like if somebody's shooting at me, I'm just fucked. If I can't like hide behind a
Yeah.
tree, I'm fucked.
Get low, hope for the best.
Yeah. This one I feel like I have some agency. Like if somebody's a better shot than me, I don't feel like I'm fully just counted out instantly.
What seems to be like high level meta of the game, where these people like building up like a barricade like to begin with and kind of holding out in there, or is
it can be
like
hard
on
because
the fly?
the circle will be unforgiving for you sometimes. It feels like the map is much smaller. There aren't like vast zones of you just running from point A to point B. So it seems like it's a little more combat. Like my third game, I got 5 kills.
Cool.
And I was like, I'm happy if I get like 3 in a match of PUBG. So I'm
Man,
like,
that's ambitious.
no, I'm like really happy if I get 3. I'm just like, oh, I'm playing super well. And I got like 5 in my third game of Fortnite. Not to say that this is easier, but I feel like I am more competent and I have to, I require less of a shooting capacity. But that being said, the cool thing about this is I'm getting a lot more practical combat experience than I would be in PUBG. And there's something about it feels a lot snappier loading into games. So I've found myself just like playing 4 or 5 in a row, which with PUBG, like unless I'm in a big party with people who are just like, let's play for, a couple hours, I'm playing like 1 or 2 by myself and then moving on to something else.
How do they handle the pre-match like period phase? Is it 60
yeah.
seconds of just stand around?
It can be like 20 seconds if you load in, but yeah, there's weapons on the ground and you run and everyone's emoting.
Okay, so still that wait time between matches then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I was actually shocked by how samey it is in a lot of regards. Like I knew it was the same mode, but like that is the same. The jumping out of the plane is almost identical. Like,
What kind of dinner do you get?
I don't know yet.
I think they just call it Victory Royale.
Yes, they say Victory Royale, which is not as good.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I am having fun with it. I think that it is, say what you will about them copying the mode. Like, that's another discussion. But as far as in a vacuum, I think it's a fine game. Like, I think it deserves the amount of attention it's getting. I don't like how they're doing sort of a compendium style thing, like a battle pass.
They literally call it a battle pass.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Which I like in Dota because there's so many like chat wheel sounds and map skins, and there's so many different things. In this, it's like emotes and skins, and like that's pretty much what you're getting.
And they have like skins for the weapons too.
Yeah,
or is it
maybe.
like
I've
here's
seen
a
that
different
stuff.
melee weapon, but it's still pretty much. Or they're melee.
Yes,
Anyway,
I've seen stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
for sale.
another thing now that you mentioned guns is I'm used to it in PUBG now, but like there was definitely a long time where I was just like, is this gun better than this gun? I can't tell. But in this one, they use like the color codings. It's like a white, green, purple, yellow. Like your guns are tied to loot colors.
Okay.
Yeah. And that comes from like the other for the real. I was gonna say the
Regular
real Fortnite,
Fortnite,
but
I
what
guess.
the fuck is regular?
Does that
yeah.
still exist?
It's funny when you load up the Epic launcher. It's just like play Battle Royale right now. There's
Yeah.
just like you can play regular Fortnite, and I loaded it up just to like when I loaded it up for the first time. I was like, okay, I just want to see the controls and kind of like build in a vacuum and just kind of like see how this goes. And there were just people who were like loading in there and like, this is weird. It was just like people who I bet were playing a lot of Battle Royale. We're like, what's this single player all about? And they somehow made the UI a little more complicated, I think. Like, there's less things, but there's more sub-menus.
Yeah, I loaded it up not that long ago, and yeah, it was definitely like, it seemed like every tech tree, and part of it is just time away from the game, but coming back to it was definitely like, I don't know what survivors are good for. I don't know. Like I'm assigning people to roles and they need to have the same abilities to get a bonus. And why am I doing like, what is this even for? Is it for my player character or is it for some base that I never see?
Yeah.
Do I ever build a base? What the fuck is? Yeah. It's just,
Are they going to sort that stuff out? Like, have they completely pivoted to just developing?
I mean, they killed
Royale
Paragon
stuff? Right?
because no one was playing it, and they're like,
God, I wonder where this
Fortnite
goes.
pretty good. Fortnite Battle Royale specifically. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Weird.
You know, it's because like ostensibly you'd be like, oh, Battle Royale is the free thing,
Right.
and then you want to upgrade to the real Fortnite at some point.
But it sounds like they're
that's-
making enough money off the free thing.
I guess so. Yeah,
Not that they're selling a
probably.
bunch of stuff
Maybe.
for it.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I assume
Well,
they have
yeah.
enough players that they're probably just getting there. But
Yeah.
like, if you're a fan of the Battle Royale stuff, I don't think there's any guarantee that you will care at all about what Fortnite originally was.
I can imagine like it's there in the same way of like Dota custom games where like you have your stack and let's say you play like a bunch of matches and then everyone's kind of burned out on Battle Royale. And it's like, let's see what this thing is about. So you can hop in there and just like check out the single player. But then I don't guarantee, but I bet a lot of people will bounce right off of that.
If you're saying that Fortnite stuff is the equivalent of custom games from Dota, then that doesn't speak well for the future of regular Fortnite.
Yeah, I wonder about that. I wonder about Unreal Tournament. Like,
Right.
what is Epic? What is Epic doing?
Yeah.
Spy Jinx is Spy Jinx now just going to be?
They're making that in Utah. I'm sure that's fun.
Yeah.
But then, at some point, this bubble I think is just going to burst. You know, the battle royale thing.
Yeah, I feel like we need
was,
some more games before they really.
Well, there was some. I saw this in passing, so I might be passing along utter bullshit. But there was some Red Dead stuff that leaked out.
What?
Supposedly?
Oh man,
that was very much like battle royale mode.
I mean, it's got the environment for it.
Yeah, we'll see if that holds true. Like I said, I don't know where that came out.
It's a Mexican standoff with 100 people in a big circle. They're all just standing there in a giant circle. And
that game did just get pushed 6 months.
Right.
So who knows what they're doing with that time?
Oh man.
Have you guys kept up with some of the stuff happening with PUBG last month or two?
There were big map changes for the new map.
Yes. So I read this morning. I was reading. I think it was on Kotaku. I was reading this news story that the community has turned on the desert map.
Right.
It's like hard. To the point that people were like deleting the map files from their install,
like hoping it would not,
so that the game would automatically put them into the other map.
Wow.
So what's the main issue?
Like not enough cover.
Yeah, not enough cover. Like too much open ground.
I feel that.
And on top of not enough cover, like the color palette and everything makes you so exposed when you're out in the open on that map.
And not a lot of weapons in those wide open areas. So just large swaths of the game, just like running in a direction.
I remember when they teased it, they were like, "Look at all these vertical builds. Like this map is gonna be like
all city
urban
stuff.
combat and stuff." And it feels like
so. The last patch, I think they added more stuff to the map.
I think.
Maybe roll it today.
But yeah, so they said like more buildings and trees and things to give you cover. Also more roads, more like pathways between areas and stuff like that.
So they're making some changes there to
cool.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll say about Fortnite that I just was reminded of is I haven't encountered a single hacker yet.
Yeah. I haven't played since the last time I had just a super egregious hacker kill me through a wall or whatever.
Yeah.
That was enough to.
That sounds like no fun.
They also said they banned over 1 million cheaters last month.
Oh,
they have now said that multiple times. So I don't know if that's another million. Or I assume it's another million.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ban more people than some games have player bases.
Right. Like I'm playing that game in fits and starts for sure. Like every few weeks, be like, let's get back into this for a couple hours here, and still having a really good time with it. But I don't know.
I hope they make a snow map.
Yeah.
I'd be into that.
I want to see the changes they made to this map. Because I guess I didn't play enough on that map to get tired of it.
Same.
So I was still having some, like, last time I was playing it, I had some really good intense moments on that map. And part of it was because, like, man, I'm out here alone and there ain't shit.
Yeah.
But oh wait, I got a shotgun and this is a bad place to have a shotgun. So I'm gonna hole up here, wait for someone, there's so little, I had great moments because of the things people are complaining about. So it's on one hand, I'm like, I guess I see what you're talking about, but also like being able to fucking have people go like, oh, this is the only building around here anywhere. There's got to be a gun here, but instead they find me with said gun, killing them. It's some good moments because of the way that map is laid out. So I don't know.
Cool. Anybody got any other games you want to talk about?
I played a few more levels of Celeste, which
the
more I play it, the more I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to get back to it. I only played it the one time.
Yeah, the mechanics in some of those later chapters, like the way they change it up, I think is fucking cool.
Really?
Did you find original Celeste?
So like a prototype or something?
It existed as a Flash game at one point. Oh. They call it the Pico 8 version of it. That's
I saw people talking about that.
The entire game is in the game, hidden somewhere.
Like running, like
nice.
Are they emulating Pico 8 on a PS4? Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
What is a Pico 8?
It's like a programming language that people came up with that is not real hardware. It is like meant to be a fake old system.
Oh, weird.
I could be confusing it with Fuse. Anyway,
I do have this laptop here.
Yeah. Yes, people have developed things for Pico 8. It is not just Celeste. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I've been going through and playing more Celeste as well.
How do you get the B? How do you play the B-sides? Because I found a tape.
When you go back to select the level, you can select the B-side.
Got it. Okay.
Is that just by finishing the game you get access to those?
No, those are unlockables. There's one in each world that is basically a much harder version of that world without any of the strawberries or anything.
How do you... Is it just beating the game that gets you access to those?
No, you find the tapes in world.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
To pick up. Got it. I think I heard there's something even after B-sides.
Yes. There are hidden collectibles that are similar to the stars in Braid. You know, those extremely hard to find puzzle things. And if you get... So basically... Not to get too spoilery, but like something opens up after you beat the game, and if you go to it without finding enough stuff, it tells you the mountain isn't ready for you. So I haven't seen what's beyond there yet because I've been focusing on those collectibles. I don't know if I need all of them or if I can do like parts of it because I haven't even gone to try yet. I've just been like, all right, I'm gonna get all the strawberries. I'm gonna get all of these hidden things. I'm gonna get all the B-sides.
Oh man, speaking of hard-ass platformers, I finished SeaWorld Dig 2 and started trying to do that trial. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like I thought I might get the platinum in that thing because I'm close enough. Got like 4 trophies, but that...
I was amazed that I managed to do... So there's a video on the site of me playing it. There's basically 4 or 5...
At least 5.
5 different... There's like one that's kind of platform-based.
Yeah.
There's one that's like jetpack-based. There's one that's No, there's one where it's like surviving those big robots that get possessed by those ghosts.
There's one based on trick jumps, which I found really weird because you have to like break down the physics of the jumps in that game in a way that the main game never makes you do.
I had to watch a YouTube video on how to do that.
It was actually like I just banged my head against it for like 20 minutes. And once I got it, I was like, holy shit. Like I had to think about the way this game like conserves momentum through wall jumps to do these weird ass trick jumps. Like it's crazy.
The most incredible part about that was I forgot that game had a run button. I had been playing the entire game without a run button. Because I have like the hook shot.
Right,
And I'm
yeah,
like, who
you
needs
just,
to
like,
run
yeah,
when
you
I'm
just
just
pull
like
yourself around.
yanking myself around?
Like as hard and infuriating as some of those runes are, they're really cool because they take abilities away from you. And like some runes will be like jetpack and hook shot forbidden, you know, and then you have to do it through jumps. And they make you just pull off like crazy trick jumps that are nothing in the original game.
Neat.
In some really wild ways. I burned out on that fucking one where you have to hit the rockets at the rocks to.
That's probably that one and the one with the robots. Are
Yeah, the
probably
robot
the two
one
hardest.
is super frustrating, but I cannot get through that rocket room. Like it's just a giant mess.
A tip is use the hook shot to deflect the rockets.
Huh.
Like kind of hover and shoot the hook shot down, and you can deflect.
Oh, I thought you had to use the pickaxe,
Yeah.
which means that you'd have to be okay. All right, that totally solves the
Still
problem I'm
very
having.
hard,
Still very
but-
hard. But that makes the part I'm stuck on make a lot more sense. Let's see. Anybody got anything else?
No, that's
That's about it.
The,
I played a little Shattered Realms on UPF, which is like a
Oh, that beat 'em up fighting game.
Yeah,
kind
that
of thing?
brawler. Yeah,
Oh,
really,
cool.
really good controls on that.
Yeah.
Great sprite work. I really like it because it just instills a lot of the like modern sensibility of like fighting games and stuff. Very freeform combo stuff. It feels really good.
Yeah.
Better than a lot of other games. Like I think in that genre. So, but it's very early access, free demo. Go check it out.
I think it looks
Shattered
nice.
Realms.
It's got a super nice look to it.
and I've been playing Super Nintendo games
Oh,
mostly.
can we?
So we're
talk
gonna
about
run a
that
stream
yet?
tomorrow.
Yeah.
With that Super NT, we've got one of those in here, so we're gonna play some Super Nintendo games. You know what
Yeah.
they look like, but what if they were running on something else?
I want to see that.
All right.
I just want to see the boot up animation of like a few times.
Okay.
That thing looks cool.
Yeah. All
This
right.
thing's got some style to it.
All right.
Never a better time to play Super Nintendo.
Yeah, that's always true.
I agree.
I brought a ton of them in.
Good.
So
Great.
Did you bring in Faceball 2000?
I think I might own that.
Yes.
How many SNES games do you have?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could look.
Yeah, like
mean-
you should have that cataloged, right?
Yeah. I can type it in here. You can move on to the
Trying to
next
think
thing,
of-
and I will look it up. And
I had
tell you.
2 shoe boxes full.
Wow, that's pretty good.
All
You
right,
have
that's-
currently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many do a shoebox? Would
I
you say?
You got big feet, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
I
true.
put them in like this,
Yeah.
and there's multiple
That's-
rows. I'd say
10, 9, 12?
16.
oh no, like 20,
20?
Oh, wow.
22.
That's pretty good.
You do have big feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
might have one left. One, yeah.
think I had-
There was a flood about
Okay.
Oh yeah.
10 years ago.
Oh, sure.
Lost a ton of stuff. But
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm just not finding a great way
Jeff
to.
doesn't own any Super Nintendo games.
Apparently
turns out.
not.
He's a fake gamer.
Yeah, clearly.
I just it's okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure. It's the app.
Like trying to find the
I
sort
also
by
don't
platform.
own any.
No?
No, I was
Nothing?
a Genesis kid growing up,
Mm.
so
Oh,
I was
yeah.
one of those kids.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
fake gamer.
Yeah.
What? Folders, platform. There we go. Let's see here.
982.
Oh, this is not as many as I thought.
170.
74 Super Nintendo
Wow.
games, 62 Super Famicom games.
Huh.
Okay.
Jeez.
We're gonna play them all.
That's right,
on
every
stream,
single
right?
one.
I figured
Every
you'd
single
be
one.
up in the multiple hundreds.
No,
At least.
yeah, that's,
You got Evo Search for Eden.
I might.
Hmm.
I mean, if I
What's it
don't,
worth to you?
we can make it happen either way. I think so. We'll
Probably.
see.
I
Yeah.
want to play Weapon Lord again.
Ooh.
I don't even know what that is. That sounds good, though.
Fighting game.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
It's interesting. They brought in a bunch of like pro players to help like
Yeah.
test that.
They made a very
remember
big
reading
deal
about
about
The people they brought in, like
James
Jason-
Goddard.
Yep, James Goddard, Jason Cole. Yeah, that was cool. Anyway.
Yeah.
Weapon
Last thing I'll bring up, the Shadow of the Colossus remake came out last night.
Oh.
I fired that up for
How
a
was that?
while. Did you play Shadow of the Colossus?
No.
Oh,
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Never
All
a
right.
better time.
Fake gamer
That
here.
was supposed to be a rhetorical question. I assumed the answer was just yes. In that case, I don't really know what to say to you. To anybody who has played it, it is that game running at 60 FPS. Like,
Great.
It's weird actually, because like from all the behind the scenes stuff that I read about, they retained like the animation and the controls and all that stuff is basically the same as a PS2 game that ran at like 15 frames a second.
Mhm.
But now it's like it looks gorgeous and like it runs at 60, and it's just this weird like anachronism.
How does it feel?
That's what I mean. Like, because the controls feel like, to some extent, you're supposed to feel awkward and clumsy in that game because it's about being like small. It's about being overwhelmed by these massive things that you should have no hope of defeating.
Yeah. When I climb on Ben, it's always a challenge. Yeah,
exactly. Like some of that is intentional design, but also it just feels it's just got this weird erratic kind of feel to the controls that like I don't know. I want to go back and play the PS2 game and see how they stack up side by side because like the visuals and the controls like feel it's a weird juxtaposition.
Yeah.
But it looks fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, everything I've seen
looks
been
incredible.
Amazing.
And like I think they made the right move making that thing $40. Like,
oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it is just that game.
That's certainly one
like
of those
slavishly
like,
just that game.
Really classic, from that era.
Yeah.
That I think is really going to benefit from updated visuals.
Yeah. It's cool to have it in like a weird archival way.
Mm-hmm.
Can you turn all that shit off?
No.
Okay.
It's got like it runs at either like upscale 4K or 60 FPS at 1080. But it's got a bunch of weird like filtering modes. Like you can make it like sepia and all this other stuff, like things like
CRT.
that.
Scan line.
50% scan line.
Arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely
stickers of Chun-Li on
definitely
it.
played that thing on a CRT. Trying to think what else. Like it's just like photo mode and camera filters and stuff like that. It kind of would be cool if you could play the original in there too. But anyway. All right, let's move into the news. There's a bunch. And the first one,
Keep me updated.
is scandalous. Scandal rocking the arcade high score world.
Oh, yeah.
As Billy Mitchell has been relieved of some of his Donkey Kong scores.
Fuck Billy Mitchell.
For all of them?
Does he have multiple ones, or like don't you just have like one top?
It was
one?
multiple runs.
Okay.
He had his top one where I believe he was 12th place. So this is still ongoing.
Yeah.
Because this
News
is
still emerging from this scandal.
people on the Donkey Kong forum site where people talk about Donkey Kong.
Oh, Donkey Kong. Never mind.
It's a different thing. They have decided to remove him from the leaderboards, and Twin Galaxies is still like looking into it.
Oh, I thought.
They've temporarily pulled his scores in our
okay.
investigation.
Yeah. It's so hard to keep
last time I
track
looked
of.
at their leaderboard, he was still on it, but there's like
Asterisk.
there's a field. Yeah, there's a field on it that says like verified, and then this one was like disputed. So, and my understanding is it's kind of been that way for a little while. This is just kind of a new batch of information. So the thing that happened is Billy Mitchell submitted his scores in video form.
He said direct capture.
Yeah, it was said to be direct capture from the arcade cabinet. So at no point did you see it was
Like
not a
him
video
playing,
camera.
right.
You do not see
Not
anyone
over the
playing.
shoulder.
Yeah.
How would you even do that?
You could tap into that stuff.
Split
It's
it.
not. Yeah, you split it out and do it. And so. Yeah, exactly. There was no one in a shot playing the game. You never really saw any of that stuff. But he submitted those scores as his own,
Right.
and those were accepted. Someone has gone and taken that footage and looked at it frame by frame and compared the way it is drawing elements on screen to the way various versions of MAME have done it, as well as actual arcade cabinets. Because the way the order in which items get drawn to the screen.
I think on a real cabinet it's one side to the other side of the screen,
that's right.
And on MAME it's like
elements of it
blocks,
kind of popping
blocks
in,
at a time or something like that. Yeah,
and even that has changed as MAME has changed over the years. So and he submitted these scores over a long period of time to where like MAME's rendering techniques had changed. And so they.
How does that affect gameplay, though? I guess is what I'm still like.
Well,
they're using the same ROM, right?
If he is submitting this as arcade footage,
Right.
and it is emulated footage, that's bad.
Like that automatically breaks the rules.
They will kind of put emulated scores on a different. There's a separate leaderboard for that stuff.
I understand that.
But how it will actually change it is because then at that point he could be tool assisted.
Right.
He could be rewinding it and cheating. And
there's something about barrel points, right?
Yeah, it's like more points
The
had
blue
come
barrels.
from barrel smashes than average.
Because there's like a range of points you can get per barrel smash, and he was on average getting more than the average.
Oh.
Which it could be luck.
that could be luck.
If you're working with RNG at all, like sometimes you're gonna have.
Or you could be rewinding it to try to break it on the right frame to get the most points to get the RNG to bend in your favor.
Is it also possible that MAME generates randomness differently than the cabinet did?
That is
really?
also there's definitely that is certainly possible. I don't know. I don't know enough about MAME's technique there to say for sure. But that has been something like there have definitely been emulated games where like, oh, we're not emulating randomness correctly, and that has broken this thing in this game. We had to fix the emulator to try to get that right. A lot of little things like that. And so basically, like, if it's a misrepresentation of like, hey, this is arcade footage, but wait, this is totally not arcade footage. That's the problem.
Gotcha.
Is he's submitting it as one thing, but it is in fact the other, because the other is. Like they take those scores in. They don't necessarily dismiss them out of hand. Like people use Wolf MAME, which is a derivative build that is a little more built for high score stuff. And there's a community that's been around Wolf MAME for years and years and years and years. But if he is submitting this to the arcade leaderboard and it is not running on an actual arcade cabinet, that's a problem.
It's deceptive.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, I don't think anyone is necessarily doubting his skill at the game overall, because he has played it in front of people in verified situations multiple times. It's not like he is garbage at Donkey Kong, but has put this thing together and it is more that like that's almost even worse in a way where like he's verifiably pretty fucking good at Donkey Kong. Like what the fuck is going on?
Like.
So if he found like one good run where the RNG was like, really, really in his favor, he could like save that state, as it were, I'm guessing, and then keep
go back and
that one.
Going
Gotcha.
From that one.
I'm pulling up the Twin
shady.
Galaxies leaderboard
and then you're just playing that input file, that INP. You're just playing that back through MAME and recording it in one go. And since it's direct feed, quote unquote, who's gonna know?
So as of right now, he is still number 12 on the Donkey Kong leaderboard, but they have a column called status.
Yeah.
All the other scores on the board say undisputed, and on his it says view dispute.
Yeah.
Then you can click through.
So if you click through that, so they're reviewing. So someone has dissected the footage of his run.
Yeah.
Compared the screen rendering techniques to how MAME does it and how a real arcade cabinet does it.
Hero is doing
yes,
this.
yes. Hero is performing Hero's work.
Somebody that really doesn't like Billy Mitchell is doing this.
Look, there's got to be honesty. There's got to be virtue in this community. Otherwise, what do you got?
Man, Billy's stretching himself too thin. He's too deep in the hot sauce world.
Too deep in the sauce game.
Still wants to be relevant with the kids.
Yeah.
Man,
pulling out what's it been like 2 weeks?
Tool assists and shit.
We got an email from somebody who had met him and said he was like super nice.
Yeah.
Seemed like a good guy.
Well,
So who knows what this? Yeah, who knows? We may never know. And then so some of the other stuff. I think part of this story, or like more and more people are talking about, like, oh yeah, we had questions about his run, and he threatened to make it really bad for Twin Galaxies, and like hey, this phone call turned bad.
What?
And like in ways where you're just like, this is video game high score. Like, no, that's okay. Yeah, no, these people take this incredibly seriously.
Yeah.
He's got Walter Day's sex tape.
That's right.
Threatening to
he's
release
put it out.
He might.
Here's how seriously they take it. Like everybody's seen King of Kong, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Since that movie came out, there are 10 people above both Billy Mitchell and Steve Wiebe now.
Yeah.
On that leaderboard, like people are playing some Donkey Kong.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at one point the high score belonged to the person who was like fourth in line for the presidency of Thailand.
Okay, sure. Sure.
Seems like something that would have happened. Yeah. And
then this is not even the only scandal to take place in that community in the last like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, the dragster stuff is the dragster thing has been, I want to say, years in the making.
Yeah.
Where someone had a score on the dragster leaderboard that seemed impossible. And so people have been tearing apart. This is an Atari 2600 game. Basically, your only interaction is to shift through 7 gears. It's a drag race. And so really all you're doing is making sure you are optimally timing your gear shifts. And as such, there is a best score.
You could find that with
Frame
the tool
perfect,
assist.
like...
Yeah, there's a perfect time.
You just have to hit this button 7 times or whatever perfectly.
Yeah, but it has to be the right 7 frames, over the course of 5.5 seconds, whatever it is. Almost 6, I think it is. So someone had a score that they had submitted to Activision. Back in the day, Activision took photos of scores, and they would send you a cool patch.
Yeah.
If you're like, I played Kaboom and got a fucking all these points, and the Mad Bomber like started making this different face, and I sent this in, and now I'm part of the Bucket Brigade. and River Raid had it. Like all the Activision games had these
Nintendo
patches.
Power did a similar thing.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lots of magazines.
So the evidence of this is long gone, but this guy had submitted a score to Activision. Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah.
The number. Anyway, he had submitted a score, and that stood for a very long time. And so, as people were trying to take it down and win and beat him, they never could.
Right.
And it's because you can't. It's because the score is impossible to attain. So people have now in this era, because of emulation, because we can dissect all these games completely, and because you can start running neural networks and tool assists and all this other stuff to like frame by frame it. Just go like, okay, we're going to try every single different combination of shift techniques and see if any of them come out with a higher score. The answer is no.
They had to build an airtight case.
Yeah.
They established a congressional committee.
Exactly.
A special counsel was named. Spent years investigating.
Yeah. But when they brought the evidence, it was very
incontrovertible.
It's very fucking deep.
I don't have the Dragster score here.
Okay.
I just have like the guy's name is Todd Rogers.
Yeah. So Todd Rogers' time was,
That even sounds fake.
right? Yeah. It was a few hundredths of a second off. So then you're like, okay, well, did like the photo get modified?
Right.
Did Activision record it incorrectly? So they eventually got to a point where Twin Galaxies was like, hey, look, there's enough evidence of this stuff being fishy combined with the photo. The evidence is long gone. The eyewitness reports are sketchy at best, kind of all over the place. Like, we can't verify this stuff. And so they've yanked it. And justice prevails. as far as I'm concerned, justice has prevailed in that particular case. But I think that stuff's fucking rad.
Yeah.
I think that we've gotten to a point. It's the same way I feel about the half A press Super Mario videos and all the fucking like quantum teleporting multiple universe stuff in Mario 64. Like people being able to get unfettered access to these games and dig fucking deep into this shit and figure out exactly here's the percentage that this happens, or like, hey, there's this thing in the code that was supposed to happen, but there was a bug that prevented it from happening, and the game just went out like that, and they never fixed it. Like the way there's someone working on fixes for Mortal Kombat 3, where they're like, hey, I've and people have done this for different reasons. There are people like, hey, we've got a new balance patch for UMK3. But then other people that are like, oh, maybe it's even some of the same people, but like, okay, if you uppercut this guy through this stage up to this other stage, you then get stuck in a loop of backgrounds forever and ever until you get through this stage without uppercutting them. And so they fixed that loop and then fixed like, oh, if you do Scorpion's fatality on this stage, it breaks. They fixed that bug.
Was that on subsequent fights where you would keep getting the same background?
Yeah.
That was in even like the XBLA version.
Yeah.
Like that bug was in every
Exactly.
version of the game. Across time.
Right. So they've fixed that.
That's
and
cool.
they're releasing like public betas for IPS patches for arcade ROMs. And, so anyway, I fucking love that shit.
Yeah,
that's
I
fascinating.
found out there's a quote in here from Jeremy Young, who is the guy on the Twin Galaxies forums, who accused Billy Mitchell of using MAME in the first place.
Yeah.
If this community
like years ago,
If this community is built on the idea of friendship through competition, camaraderie through our shared pains in pushing ourselves, our friends, and these games to their limits, then we must strive for honesty and legitimacy.
Totally.
Like they are super serious about self-policing.
And I think that's the weird thing. Like,
it's kind of awesome.
The dragster stuff, even like the guy that was kind of bringing it was like, hey, this guy is like a brother to me.
Yeah.
But I'm calling him out but also
I'm doing this because I love him.
Right. Yeah.
This is too important.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
in a
it's
way
wild.
that I
It's
can totally
wild.
back.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a messy, shameful situation, but it's cool to see that stuff back in the news.
Yeah. Get a new documentary crew out there.
That's right. We should try some of that hot sauce sometime.
it's whatever.
You had it?
Yeah.
Plain old hot sauce. Nothing special. All right.
Is it vinegar base?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure he said different types than
Yeah.
what I've tried, but
Let's see. Report out of Kotaku from one Jason Schreier, who seems to be building a career on reporting scuttlebutt out of Canadian game dev studios, that Capcom. Well, actually, you know what? It's beyond just his report now. Like it was floating around on Twitter this morning that this is legit. The Capcom has laid off something like 50 people from Capcom Vancouver. which is the studio
Dead Rising. Right?
Yeah, made Dead Risings 2, 3, and 4.
There was a fourth Dead Rising?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And apparently, according to this story, they were in the process of making a fifth one.
Holy shit.
And
Oh, really?
still are, probably. So basically, the gist is they laid off like 50 people and that they had 2 projects going, a new Dead Rising and a totally different, brand new project,
Okay.
which
I don't think that
is
was announced.
described
was it?
as a very early prototype, had not yet been greenlit, envisioned as a third-person action-adventure game set in an alternate reality version of New York. Is the other thing they were making.
Neo
The
Neo.
Division 2.
Sure. And another Dead Rising, which was described as overscoped and understaffed.
Yeah.
That sounds
that-
like
that-
I feel like
Yeah.
I was going to say, isn't that every video game?
Yeah, I mean, the story even actually says as many video games are.
Oh, okay.
But
How many people originally out there?
this says
250, I think.
per
it was,
per LinkedIn, Capcom Vancouver had around 250 employees. So like the studio's not going
Yeah,
away.
they're not
but,
completely gutted, but they're just trimming down. Okay. Still,
I'm-
that sucks.
Like Dead Rising 4 is not a terrible game, but I'm
Right.
kind of shocked to hear that they were going to make another Dead Rising game after that. Like
Without
it was
shaking
fine.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, but
When did 4 come out?
2 Christmases ago?
Yeah.
End of 2016.
Oh, wow.
Really good selfie mode. Really good.
Yes, it was the best thing in that game was the selfie functionality.
But I think that may have been about it.
Frank Rest or Chuck Green?
Frank West.
Basically Frank West, but like different voice actor, different everything.
Oh, weird.
Like they practically rewrote the character, which was part of what was weird about it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hate the game, but it
It
was just
it felt weird. Like
yeah.
they really dug into just like their rut, I think, with that series.
Yeah,
And
like
they got to shake it up a little bit.
yeah. So
They tried with 3. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
3 is like a pretty dramatic, it's like here's a different character. They did
Yeah.
all that fucking weird DLC.
yeah, they got way heavier into vehicles.
Yeah.
Although 4 got away from the vehicles. So
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
the
it felt
vehicles
like-
were not great.
Yeah,
And
I
they-
felt like 4 was like kind of a step back
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
that
yes,
that rut.
You know how to shake it up?
Huh.
Drop 100 Frank Wests
Oh man,
into
Oh,
a zombie-infested
no.
mall.
Okay. And then whoever takes the best picture wins.
I could see
Whoever
some.
gets the serve bot head wins.
Yeah.
I could see some merit to a battle royale game with a bunch of like fodder enemies getting in the way.
Well, that's like the Dead Island thing, right? They are working on like a battle royale.
Are they?
I don't know if it was the Dead Rising team or if it was somebody who said we're like Dead Rising and we're making a battle royale. But I
Huh.
feel like there was a 1 versus 100 with zombies game actively in
Was
development.
Dying Light did some updates.
Maybe
they,
that
they
was-
announced
still
another
updating that
run,
game.
another run of updates. I want to say one of the updates they kind of tried to evoke the battle royale thing, but I don't
Huh.
think they have the player count
Okay.
up.
Okay.
I think that might be what you're thinking of, but
But yeah, I agree that there's enough room in the battle royale genre, which is a genre, I guess,
Yeah,
to play around with stuff like that.
yeah, everyone's gonna take a crack at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like everyone made a MOBA
Mm-hmm.
and then shut down their
down their
MOBA.
MOBA.
Everyone made a
Mm.
MMO.
Mm-hmm. And then shut down
Shut
their
down their
MMO.
MMO.
Now they're all going to make battle royale games, and,
And then
90% of them
they're
will
all
shut
gonna
down.
work.
Yeah,
Shut those
yeah,
down.
right.
God, there's like 3 different directions I could segue from what you just said. 2 different news stories from this week, but condolences to people who lost their jobs. My text editor just crashed. Give me a second. Yeah, sounds like Dead Rising will happen. The other game has been canceled, is the word.
Okay.
How about, let's just get this out of the way. Gigantic is shutting down.
That sucks.
Speaking of
Oh.
I'm not
MOBA-esque
super
games.
surprised, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that
after that
thing-
last round of layoffs.
Yeah, they laid off a bunch of the studio. They've also said this January content update that just happened is the final content update. Servers will be up until July.
They
End
worked,
of July.
they worked really hard to get that game out too.
Yeah,
from
that
what
alpha
it
was
sounds like.
Lasted like 2-3 years or something.
Yeah, they had to like shop around for like another publisher or something.
I wonder if
like
at
Yeah.
some point, like if that's just like them looking at the numbers on their own, or I wonder if part of it is like looking at the landscape and going like, well, fuck, if
Maybe.
Paragon can't
Yeah,
fucking make it, what are we
maybe.
even doing?
It's tough to say. I don't know. Yeah, they were in business with Perfect World. I don't know.
Yeah,
How-
they
how
kind of
much-
Perfect World
yeah.
kind of came in and
Yeah,
saved them.
Got
I
that
guess.
thing finished.
That was a cool game.
Yeah,
like I
it's
really liked
kinda
the
neat.
design
Yeah.
of that game.
Yeah.
But there's so many.
Yeah, like, that's
right
just-
now it's
man.
really hard to stand out and probably.
I feel like there are
remain
not
relevant.
that many anymore.
But yeah,
Well,
they've
no,
been
it's
closing.
just that the one that there is so big that
it's hard for me to. Well, I feel like we're talking about different things because I don't think Overwatch fits into that.
I mean, they're not exactly the
Yeah,
same type of game, but
like more people are playing Overwatch than any of that other stuff for sure. But I don't even think I would call that a hero shooter the same way that we talk about. Like it's not an action MOBA the same way that like stuff like Gigantic and even like Battleborn.
yeah, sure.
Like
There's MOBAs that are kind of similar, but we look at games like Lawbreakers where on paper this should be pretty all right, but it's not doing well out there.
It's tough out there.
Yeah,
in this space,
and it is a
that
shame.
Ghost in the Shell
like
game shut down.
Yeah, man,
Fucking
nothing is sacred anymore.
I really liked the style of that game.
It sounds like they're discontinuing cash purchases from here on out. All the heroes are becoming free until they shut down.
Is Pwned still active?
It was never active. They were selling it on Steam for a period of time, but I would never have called it
I wonder if that
active.
price drop ever happened.
I don't know.
Because that first screenshot of when you load up that game in the store is, hey, don't buy it right now. It's going to be cheaper soon.
Wow. Right. Yeah. I think they might have even pulled it beyond that. I don't know. That's God, that game.
Let's see here.
I'm all bummed out now. Jeez.
Yeah, it's more than anything. It's notable just for how fast it happened. Like, what's that game been out? 6 months, 8 months?
But like Gigantic was in some kind of closed
it
state
was.
for like 1,000 years.
Yeah,
but
like it only came out on Steam at official launch, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like it wasn't out that wide.
It was late last year.
But that was in the Windows Store for a long time. Also,
that's true.
Because it was in the Windows Store and they're selling it on Xbox and it's kind of early
Xbox.
access and stuff. So it's
a quick turnaround from release to
Any other good news?
kind of. Let's see what you think when we get there. It's only kind of video game related. Kaz Hirai is stepping down from Sony.
Yeah.
But he kind of had gotten out of the PlayStation business a while ago anyway, so like he's running the whole thing.
Yeah.
So.
And then, then one day you wake up and take a look at that and be like, man, I don't want to do this.
What have I done? Is he moving away completely or just kind of stepping down? Or?
He is going to be, I think, chairman or group chairman.
I couldn't tell from the statement they put out if he's becoming chairman or if he already also was chairman and will remain so. I don't know.
It's a position that, from the reading I did, it sounds like it's largely like an honorary sort of thing. It's not necessarily like a.
That was what I was assuming.
He's gonna hang out, give the occasional thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah.
Grab a paycheck.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Robot dogs, thumbs up.
Yeah. Time to bring him back.
Walkmans? They did. They brought it back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, doesn't really affect too much day to day with PlayStation stuff.
End of an era. It is still. Yeah, I was gonna say like in terms of just like Sony old guard.
Yeah. I mean, he ran SEA or the whole thing like from the beginning or no? I can't remember. Was he ahead of America at first?
That might be right. I don't remember.
Yeah. What do we know about his successor?
I don't know if they.
Oh boy, you want to hear some stuff about his successor?
Kenichiro
Yoshida is the guy who's replacing him, and his current titles are Director, Representative, Corporate Executive Officer, Executive Deputy President, and Chief Financial Officer. Those are his titles.
Those are really good.
Say the second one again.
Representative, Corporate Executive Officer.
He really thrives in that role.
Executive Deputy President and Chief Financial Officer.
Executive Deputy President.
And Director.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a lot of things. Anyway, like it's just kind of corporate changing of the guard.
But Kaz Hirai, Andrew House, seeing this stuff happen, there's a certain
like Kaz was the face of PlayStation for years.
Yeah,
at E3 and stuff like that. So
he realized he's not going to be able to make a new Ridge Racer game happen from that position, so he's got to get out.
He did his best
to catch the real killers.
He did what he could. That's right. Nintendo announced a Mario Kart for phones.
Oh shit!
Yeah, okay.
They should put that shit on Switch.
It's called Mario Kart Tour. It will be here. I'll just read the tweet. The checkered flag has been raised and the finish line is near. A new mobile application is now in development. Mario Kart Tour.
What a shitty race. The checkered flag has been raised, and the end is near.
The finish line is near.
That's like a 3-second long race.
Yeah.
That's not even like a drag race.
Well, everyone's talking about Dragster now. They figured, like, why not get into that? Actually, I mean,
there's no way Yoshi could get that frame perfect score.
There are a ton of games that are just that fucking gear shifting thing on phones.
How about Mario Funny Kart?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You in?
Shaking the ground with funny cart power.
Yeah, that's right. I love that a new mobile application is in development. Like, call it a video game. You're Nintendo.
Oh, a new mobile. I love mobile applications.
Releasing in the fiscal year ending in March 2019, says this tweet. So, out by next March. Don't know what it's going to be.
All their other mobile stuff has been awesome, so I bet this will be great too.
Yeah. On top of that, all their other mobile stuff has been like turn-based and slow and kind of like sort of suited for a touchscrreen.
Mario Run?
Except for that.
Okay. Yeah.
That's built around touchscreen. I don't think it's well suited for it, but they at least did the work.
Think,
but I don't know about, I don't know what this is, if it's just a straight up Mario Kart on a touchscreen.
I think Mario Run was a decent enough proof of concept that I'm willing to give this a shot. Like, I'm thinking it'll be bad, but I have hope in me.
Yeah.
I've lost all hope.
That's the way to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got a year, potentially,
Okay.
until we find out.
Do we?
Maybe.
Doesn't feel like it sometimes, you know?
Yeah, let's not. Maybe we'll make it to September at least when the Nintendo Switch Online service launches.
Oh, yay. Something to look forward to.
Who's ready to no longer be able to play Splatoon 2 for free and now have to pay $20 a year for the privilege.
Yay!
Woo!
Or you could pay $4 a month or $8 for 3 months.
Something shining in the sky.
Yeah, like that subscription service was supposed to be out, I believe, last year, wasn't it? Yeah. Originally supposed to launch last year, now coming out this September.
$5 a month?
Four if you want to pay monthly, 8 for 3-month chunks, or
I think
$20 a year.
What I might do is just like if there's a game at the time.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I don't see myself playing like Splatoon like all year round. So
unless you're like a huge Splatoon player, there's not a lot of multiplayer stuff.
What are the big releases coming out we're looking forward to on the
for
Switch?
There'll
be a Pokemon eventually. That'll get a lot of people paying for that online.
Let me see if I can pull up a list.
Do I get any free games for this or anything?
That's also the thing that's going to get you, but they still have
3 free NES games.
Well, they
walked back on that a little bit.
back. It's a little fuzzy exactly how that's going to work right now.
But they did still kind of say like Balloon Fight and Dr. Mario at some point.
Yeah, like it'll be some kind of classic games. I'm not going to pull up this list of Switch games, but yeah, like it'll be some classic games and multiplayer.
Okay,
for like $20 a year, it's not terrible.
A little easier to swallow.
But I'm with you. Like, there's definitely like they're going to have some games, which that to me. So Smash Brothers September release.
That would make
sense.
Does
that make sense?
Because Smash on the Switch has been a long time like teased and people like finding, like originally it was supposed to be a launch thing. People were talking about like they found like a 3DS thing that was like the 3DS version was being changed in a way that it would make sense on the Switch. So
yeah, I mean, is it just going to be one of the previous Smashes ported over with stuff?
So the thing was it was always like a game of the year that had like all the DLC characters
because it takes them forever to make a new Smash, right?
Yeah. And Sakurai has said, like, I'm not doing any more.
Oh, that's right. Didn't he say after the last one, like, hey, making this games is killing me?
Doesn't he say that after everyone?
I feel like this is the harshest he's been.
Okay. I remember it being kind of dire.
Because like, not only did he make the game, he also like, at least in Melee, I don't know if this is true in Smash 4, like designed the menus and the character select screens and stuff. And he was like so involved that his wife left him because he was spending so much time making the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So I could see what a wild relationship to have with you. Like you love this game because you made it, but you hate the people who play it in a way because they have taken it in a different direction than your vision. And oh god, I can't imagine what it's like to be Sakurai with that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do not envy the man.
Yeah, I could see that.
But also,
like, you need something to launch with that service, right?
Right. And that's like I mean, that and like a Pokemon would be like a 1-2 punch for that thing.
Like if your
as
entire
far as multiplayer Nintendo properties, those are like the big ones.
if
Mario Kart.
if your entire offering at launch is like, hey, now you have to pay us for the games you've been playing for free for the last year.
Yeah, like no thanks.
That's not
never. Not in a million years.
They've got to have something new to come out along with that thing.
New.
Well, yes. But I guess like then you run into this issue of just like when you if you actually are going to put a Smash Brothers out on the Switch, do you then have to fucking cater to the insane whims of the fans and go like, all right, and here's a way to hook fucking GameCube controllers up to your fucking Switch? I guess.
I think you can use the same thing for the Wii U. No,
were those just?
Oh, I guess that's USB. USB to GameCube.
USB.
Yeah, so maybe just supports that.
The
Maybe
firmware might
that.
not be there, but
Right.
Huh.
Okay, maybe that.
Also, aren't there
that
aren't there adapters to hook up like a 360 controller to the Switch now?
probably.
I swear I saw.
I don't know.
Weird aftermarket stuff like that.
I'm not sure about that one. But
Somebody would find a way.
lots of controllers do work.
September, get ready to pay.
Can't wait.
Who's excited?
Balloon fight.
We mentioned Red Dead got delayed. There's really nothing else to say.
I didn't even realize that was a delay when I first saw it.
Yeah, they announced it
Yeah,
today.
uh,
Or no, I'm sorry, this was last Thursday.
yeah, October, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess it was originally spring. I had forgotten
Just
that.
in
that part of
time
it.
for an undead nightmare.
It was supposed to be soon.
What if that's the whole game? If they're just like,
fucking
we
yes.
decided to just double down on the
Dude,
zombie thing.
Yes, that thing was so good.
Yeah.
It was.
Ben, do you want to talk about the weird Dota patch stuff at all?
Yeah. Well, so Valve kind of, I feel like every year they might have missed a year. Does like a spring cleaning update where they just like, here's a million bug fixes and also like maybe some hero patches and stuff here and there. But they did a huge quality of life improvement patch. They've kind of. What did they do? So
Tons of like UI changes.
like UI changes,
better ways to expose information.
Yeah, like when you pick a hero now that has been changed since the last patch, there's like a little info button that's lit up, and if you hover over that, it'll tell you all the changes that have happened in that hero. So if you like took a break and came back, they changed like how picks and bans happen. You have like profile pages now that you can like show off your cosmetics and stuff. Yeah, there's probably the most handy new feature. There's a ready check. So if like you're queuing up and you're not sure if all your friends are there, you hit this little button and it pops up. There's like, are you ready? And you have to hit yes. And if everyone doesn't hit yes, it'll like be like, not everyone's here. Maybe you don't play, because if you miss a queue, you have to wait 5 minutes for.
Oh, right. Yeah.
To like incentivize people to actually be there when they queue up.
Yeah.
Well, the bigger thing to me is the other thing about the patch frequency stuff.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Ice Frog, like the spring cleaning thing is cool, but like it's the patches going forward that seem like an actual.
So Ice
deal.
Frog took to Twitter, which he hadn't done since the International, where he said, "Congrats, Team Liquid," and like that was his only other tweet for the last 2 years or something. Took to Twitter to say that they're experimenting with a new patch system, which kind of before how patches rolled out were like after a couple times a year, usually after major tournaments, they would do like a pretty hefty patch.
That
And,
makes
like, there would be-
sense, you know,
Yeah.
like the timing, because like you want to have the major tournament be everyone's familiar with the rules.
Yeah.
Then you make
Yeah.
your changes.
Yeah.
But
But there was like a lot of tension building up toward those. Like people would be losing their fucking minds.
after every tournament, there would be like 10 Reddit threads that are like, "Where's the patch? Who's ready for the patch? I'm tired of this meta." Like, because they wouldn't communicate when the patches were coming. They would just be like, "Surprise! Here's a patch." But now they're doing it where every 2 weeks there will be a much, much smaller patch. So like this was the first one, and only like 6 or 7 heroes had very minor changes, as opposed to every hero having completely different changes, completely different skills and stuff. And it gives them room to like, Tinker is a hero that needed to be nerfed. And so instead of like them being like, okay, we're going to nerf his move speed, we're going to like nerf the damage on this skill, this thing, and this thing, they're like, okay, we're just going to start by nerfing his speed. And if that's enough to bring his win rate down to what we see as forgivable, then we don't need to change him. But it gives us the opportunity in 2 weeks to be like, oh, he's still doing really well.
Yeah.
Let's just knock it down a little more.
They could be more reactive.
Yeah. And same with buffs, right? Like Alchemist got a couple buffs, and it's like, oh, is that good enough to... Oh, don't start with me. That's the worst hero in the game. It just allows them to kind of have a lighter hand, and also people will be able to like look forward to it, and it shouldn't be big enough where like if it happens right before a tournament, it's not gonna like throw everything on its head, right? Because it's just such small buffs. And they said they're gonna do it for 6 months and see how it works, and then reevaluate when that time runs out.
I get the sense, I mean, this is just based on people I know, that people are drifting away from Dota
I feel like
in
this patch
sort
has
of large quantities.
This patch has brought somewhat of a resurgence. I definitely disagree that overall some people have been drifting away. I've noticed. I feel like whenever and this is going to get weirder now with these patches, but whenever there's like a new big patch, there's kind of two phases. It's the first phase where everyone's experimenting with how all the heroes are different. Lots of people are coming back to the game. Like, okay, I want to figure out like the next broken hero, or I want to have some fun because my favorite hero got buffed, or the hero I hate got nerfed. But now it's like the part of the patch where the OP heroes, everyone knows who's really strong right now, right? Like Tinker's really strong right now. I'm completely blanking. Like Lycan was really good. He got nerfed a little bit, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, if you're not gonna, the people who are playing right now are the people who want to gain MMR by playing the broken heroes or the counters to broken heroes, right? Because like it's not just, there's such depth to the game that it's not going to be the same set every time. But you get a lot more of the hardcore people who like never left sticking around. But I have noticed even a fraction of that group is starting to drift away.
Really? Just, I mean, for my part, like PUBG peeled so many people off that I knew that played Dota. Like they moved to that as their
Monster Hunter and Dragon Ball
Monster Hunter
also
is kind
both
of serving the same role to some extent. Like I haven't played Dota in months. Like
I wish I hadn't played Dota in months.
It's kind of nice playing other games again.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm curious. We welcome you guys.
Curious to see where this patch stuff goes.
Me and Jason welcome you to League of Legends.
Oh,
you should, it's a game we've been getting pretty deep into.
Actually.
Don't. Oh,
okay.
boy.
I won't open that door.
Oh God.
Jan's a League player.
Yeah.
Lol.
Last thing, real fast. I mean, talking about the Far Cry 5 season pass is normally the last thing we would want to talk about here, but
No, like I
but there's kind of interesting in this case.
I am bummed.
About what?
It's like it signifies everything you thought Far Cry 5 was not going to be.
I see where you're going with that. Well,
or is.
Okay, well, so we should say what it actually is. Like they announced the season pass for Far Cry 5, and it sounds like they're basically going in the Far Cry Blood Dragon direction with it, which is that instead of like bolt-on story stuff for the original game, there's going to be a zombie-themed thing, a Vietnam-themed thing, and a Mars one. Like they're going to put out little what sound like self-contained Far Cry episode type things as this season pass. Like honestly, I think I would rather have that at this point than like most games have just been mishandling their story DLC so badly.
But the hugest fall for me in terms of just like the initial pitch of a game and what it has the potential to be in terms of just like, hey, we're really going for it on the story front. We're going to really start getting into these really fucking heavy issues.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more relevant, like as time progresses. It's even more.
And now Mars DLC.
Yeah, have you seen what Clive and Bundy's up to these days?
And
I'm with you on that, but I mean like that. I don't feel like those things are mutually exclusive here because they could. Based on what we've heard about Far Cry 5, it's probably not the case, but they could still make that serious game and then have these ridiculous
condensed
episodes,
like just keep that self-contained. It worked for like Red Dead as well.
Yeah,
totally. The zombie DLC.
This only happens in conjunction with like some amount of knowledge of hearing like, oh, like there's been dramatic things that have happened over the course of development, and that game is definitely not the thing that, it is not as serious as that initial pitch was.
Taking itself as seriously as you thought it would.
Yeah.
I mean, which was
like the only interesting thing about it.
That story trailer that came out a couple weeks ago was just very underwhelming.
Yeah.
And like it showed that way at E3s and stuff. Like people played it, and it's like, oh, this is still the same wacky Far Cry.
Yeah. So
also,
Mars.
No video game single player content will ever be Mars-based content will ever be as good as the last level of Saints Row 3.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, you probably.
So why even try?
Yeah, that's fair. The other thing is Far Cry 3 is coming out for PS4 and Xbox One, and that'll be part of the season pass.
Really?
Yeah.
Just straight
for
port?
free?
Kind of weird. Yeah, they didn't really say. I assume. I'm sure it's just the PC version, yeah. But the game ran like garbage on the old consoles, so I guess it's cool to see that come out on modern consoles. But at the same time, like, as amazing as Far Cry 3 was when it came out, I feel like it would probably be kind of underwhelming at this point.
Depends on if you've played. Well, I guess like there's a lot of stuff around that. Like it depends on if you've played other Far Cry games, because Far Cry 3 in a vacuum is probably still pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine. But if you've played any other of the Far Cry stuff they've put out, it's kind of
I haven't played any Far Cry stuff. I own it all. Which one should I play?
Oh gosh,
3.
I never played Primal.
Don't play Primal.
3 then 4. If I like it.
4 has a better story.
4 has like some better mechanics and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just less impressive because it came after 3.
Yes.
So it was
Maybe
already
4.
4 is a better game. 3
might
was
be the one.
3 was more interesting at the time.
Give that a shot before 5 comes out.
I like the tropical island setting of 3 better than
I do like
the mountainous stuff in 4, but 4 has kind of an underrated story. I thought it was better than most people gave it credit.
I heard a lot of complaints about 3's story, basically getting rid of the most interesting part halfway in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was thinking about that on the way in this morning. Like, the setup for 3, if it had gone the way that it should have.
Yeah. There's a better game there somehow.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That season pass stuff sounds kind of interesting to me, but we will see. I think that's it for this shotgun blast of news. There's a whole bunch of random stuff popping off this week.
Who do you think should play Mario?
They confirmed that all that Mario movie stuff is happening with the Minions
John
animation studio
There you go.
that we talked about a few months ago. Done. All right.
Dennis Franzia. Is that his name?
Nope. It's just Dennis Franz.
The white guy.
Yeah.
Dennis
Franzia. That's the wine guy. Yeah.
Dennis Franz still
Ernest
alive?
and Julio Gallo in a dual role that will surprise you.
What the hell has Dennis Franz been up to for the last 20 years?
Showing people in public his butt. He's like,
Yeah,
hey,
I guess
remember
so.
this from prime time?
I do.
I'll do this for you.
Earnestly, who would play Mario right now?
Jack Black.
One of
Yeah, sure.
God. Yeah, why not?
That's
Yeah.
God.
Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
All right.
One of the Chris's.
Seth
I don't know.
Rogen.
Ryan Reynolds is playing Pikachu.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It's an animated thing, so
Get Danny DeVito to play Captain Toad.
but also like
All right, sure.
so I feel like he's playing Captain Toad every day.
Yep.
But TOED.
I really like those M&M commercials with Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny DeVito got a Super Bowl commercial. Good for him.
All right. He was at the Super Bowl, I'm told.
Oh, yeah?
From photos I saw.
That's a thing he can do.
Yeah.
He was there with the Always Sunny cat. There's like a group photo of them.
Yeah.
When you're Danny DeVito, write your own ticket. Okay, that's it for news. Let's take a quick break and read some emails.
Great. All right, I'm going to ask again because support for this podcast is brought to you in part by Netflix's new original series, Altered Carbon.
What was the question again?
The question is, what does it mean to truly live forever?
Am I going to get to find out?
Maybe.
Oh.
You might have to watch Richard K. Morgan's cyberpunk novel come to life. In Altered Carbon, a hard-boiled detective noir set 300 years in the future.
That sounds ambitious.
Yeah.
300 years, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to make it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Sounds like a flight of fancy, but all right.
Hey, well, what if I told you it was set in Bay City or modern-day San Francisco?
Oh, here.
Yeah, right here.
Huh.
Right here is going to be here in 300 years and not underwater.
Still above water, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I have not seen the show. Maybe it takes place in some kind of Atlantis-like setting.
Oh, yeah.
Who could say?
International waters.
Yeah, the most international of waters. This presents a visually stunning and tech-obsessed world wherein society has been transformed by technological advances in immortality. Because, as we all know, a human being's mind can now be digitized and downloaded into a cortical stack at the base of the brain. So bodies, known as sleeves, are interchangeable.
Ew. That's the word just takes on a gross new meaning. Sleeves. When you say it that way.
Sleeve. Yeah, no, that doesn't sound great. But if you are rich enough to make a copy of yourself, death is no longer a given. Eternal life for those who can afford it means eternal control for those who can't. But no body lives forever. All
Fleshy freedom fighters here.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting.
something like that.
Yeah.
Altered Carbon begins streaming February 2nd on Netflix.
That's
yeah.
That happened.
That's happening.
Yeah.
That's you can go watch it
right now.
You can get on the Netflix.
Unlike last week, you can watch this.
That's right. Go see it. See if it takes place underwater. I have no idea.
Okay. I'll do some research.
Okay. Valentine's Day is coming, and it's time to team up
With
Pro Flowers
Oh.
and Sherry's Berries.
the professional
That's right.
flowers.
Professional flowers.
Professional
and,
berries?
And these berries,
Yeah.
I'm going to say,
Sherry-
are pretty professional.
Sherry is professional?
Sherry is a professional with
Okay.
these berries.
Okay. A professional berryist.
Yes, these are not
A
amateur.
barrier?
This is not amateur berries that you picked yourself.
Yeah.
You like ran down into the gutter and found some bush and picked berries. This is professional.
Yeah. Ripe and plump and not, the ones you get yourself are like small and discolored and
Ready to go.
Okay.
Covered in chocolate in a professional
Oh
fashion
man.
by Sherry and Sherry's team, I assume.
Okay. She can't do it all herself.
No, definitely not. Sherry's Berries and Pro Flowers are teaming up to help you really impress your Valentine this year with their perfectly paired collection. Go ahead and think inside the box this Valentine's Day. It's a one-of-a-kind gift. These flowers and dipped strawberries will arrive together in a beautiful, specially designed box that keeps the flowers fresh and the berries cold. Guaranteed! This is what it says right here. You can save 20% on any one of their perfectly paired combinations or any other gift that's over $29 with the promo code BOMBCAST. So, hurry up and order today. Valentine's Day is next week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
No, the time is ticking away
What
here.
kind of lead time are we talking here?
I mean, I actually, I don't know. I don't know. But
I should probably not wait until like the day before.
you don't
what
be
you're
the
saying.
person that waits until the day before.
I do that every year.
Because then the shipping, it's like some of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes that stuff can get a little hard.
It's true.
That's right. You got to get that stuff out there. Valentine's Day is next week. There's only one way to get 20% off a perfectly paired gift over $29, featuring beautiful blooms from Pro Flowers and freshly dipped strawberries from Sherry's Berries. Do you want to hear what it is?
Hit me.
Of course you want to hear what it is. You visit proflowers.com today and enter the code BOMBCAST at checkout. That's proflowers.com, and the code is BOMBCAST.
Did you know that bombcast@giantbomb.com is the place that you send emails on this podcast?
How I know how to
Yeah.
send you emails.
Never before has this forbidden knowledge
Wow.
been revealed to the world.
Don't tell anyone.
Hey, what do you think of that Star Wars? Did you see that
Oh,
they announced more Star Wars?
sure.
There
they?
wasn't enough Star Wars, and they're like, what if we could find
Wait.
some more people to make Star Wars?
Wait, are you saying
like half an hour ago.
Oh, what?
What?
The
I
Game
thought you were
of-
talking about the Han Solo thing.
No, the Game of
What?
Thrones creators are working on a new series of Star Wars, or will be working on a new series of Star Wars films
What?
separate from.
Are these going to be the in-betweens of...
It doesn't
Of the
say.
in-betweens?
It just says
10, 11, and
separate
12?
from the episodic Skywalker saga and whatever the fuck the other shit is called.
They already just announced a new trilogy to be
yes,
separate
that was the
from
other
that
thing.
like 2
Yes,
months ago.
Yeah, it is
Wow.
separate. This is separate,
Separate
from that.
from that?
Yeah, these are going to be the every other ones, like the
The
Rogue
0.5
One, Han
episodes.
Solo.
Sure. I mean, dude, like the Marvel factory has been running at a pace of about 3 to 4 movies a year.
Yeah.
So Star Wars got nowhere to go but up.
We had like 2 weeks where people had stopped talking about episode 8,
Yeah.
and they had stopped talking about that, and then the fucking
cycle-
Solo commercial dropped, and
Yeah.
now we're back.
Now the
full-
cycle
Is
has
it
begun
bad? I
again.
heard it was bad.
I heard the trailer / commercial is actually pretty good,
Looked
but
all right. It looked all right,
all
but
the
also
talk
just-
around the movie is that it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
That the main guy can't act. That
I mean, what happened with the directors was
yeah,
just calamitous.
3 different
And just also
directors.
just a huge fucking bummer because I'll show up for anything that Lord and Miller do, but
yeah,
apparently-
and Donald Glover.
apparently that thing got gutted.
Yeah.
So who knows? I have a solution for you.
What's that?
What if we just stop talking about Star Wars permanently?
Okay,
But they're making
Impossible.
more.
can I still talk about
More power
Jedi?
to 'em.
Like,
More power to
fast
'em.
once in a while.
More power to him. Let's read to me, man.
We talk about Luke Skywalker and what he's into in
Nope.
his off time.
Nope.
Milk.
Does he ever get milk?
It's not. That's not milk.
Does he ever get blue hair?
He
Are there
gets
Super
blue
Saiyan
milk.
Jedis?
Does blue milk make your bones Stronger or weaker?
It does something.
Make him sad.
All right. Here's an email. Chance in Texas.
Aye.
Jason, I'm going to need your sign off on this.
Don't read it.
Some verification from
Don't.
you. Now that a handful of you are dipping your toes into Monster Hunter, it seems like a good time to expose you to the crazy lore of the series.
Oh God.
Are you acquainted with this stuff?
No. I mean, yes, but
Jason's like, I'm not a crazy person.
All right, here's what he's got. In the distant past, a hyper-advanced ancient civilization tamed and trained monsters to build various superstructures, and even treated some dragons as equals. This lasted until the humans started using necromancy and biotech
that's where it always
to build their own super dragons at a dragon to super dragon exchange rate.
Super Dragon.
Yep.
Super Dragon.
Hang on, I'm just going to read this sentence again. This lasted until the humans started using necromancy and biotech to build their own super dragons at a dragon to super dragon exchange rate of 100 to 1.
So they had to kill 100 dragons and
get
use
one-
their
to
bones
get one
to
super
make
dragon.
a super dragon.
Correct.
And then they started farming video cards to start
Yeah.
creating these
Terrible.
dragons. Then the exchange rate went out of whack.
The video cards are only good for alt dragons now.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not really the main stuff.
Super-
You need an ASIC
The
or
super
something.
dragon
to want that
bubble burst and the great collapse began. The death and processing of their brothers pissed off the dragons and kicked off the Great Dragon War. After a long period of
remember that.
fighting,
I personally don't think it was that great, the
Yeah.
Dragon War.
shit. No,
I think a lot of lives were lost and it was needless conflict.
kind of a bummer, really.
Yeah.
most of the advanced technology was lost and most of the dragons went extinct. The remnants of the civilization are implied to be where the knowledge to make crazy weapons comes from, and it's also implied that they experimented on themselves, which is the reason you can lift a 400-pound sword, can survive a torrent of flame, and can go from exhaustion to ready to kick some ass in under half a minute.
It's cool that they have like a fantasy reason why they're able to do stupid video gamey stuff like that. The lore in Monster Hunter has always been kind of kept separate. Like you really got to dig for it.
Yeah, is it even in the game?
Yeah, it's there.
Like
there's
weapon
like
descriptions.
Oh,
and
shit.
stuff.
in this game, there's like the Legend of the Five Heroes or something like that you can read excerpts of or have people talk, about those tales or something like that. I've never really dug into it. It is super weird, but you can tell it's steeped in some kind of really rich story.
Yeah.
And it's cool seeing that stuff, but I have not tried to dip my toes into that.
That actually sounds like a cool setup for a game.
Yeah.
Like a Dragon War.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really don't surface that stuff.
I like that the game does not take itself super seriously.
Right.
On
Yeah,
the-
I
on the
like
surface.
that. I like that part of it.
How do they explain how the cats are so good at cooking?
Ooh, I don't know.
That's a mystery that is still
Did
left to
the
be
exchange
found.
rate from dragon to super dragon ever change? Does it fluctuate over
Over
time?
time,
Does it
yeah.
Sure it does.
Dragon
yeah.
inflation is a motherfucker.
Scales deteriorate.
It's usually because they're breathing a lot of fire there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
not a long shelf life.
Taylor wrote in from Twinsburg, Ohio. I'll just basically summarize the question. He asked, he was surprised to find out that Monster Hunter, is it pronounced Double Cross,
Yeah.
is out on Switch in Japan.
Yep. Just
Uh,
Japan.
His question is basically, now that Monster Hunter World seems to be blowing up over here, if we think that Capcom
And over there, and yeah.
yeah, actually Monster Hunter sold like crazy well in Japan for
Shit, it sold 2
By-
million over there.
by
shipped
console
5
standards.
million
I think it was like the
worldwide.
fastest shipping or selling
Yep.
console, like PS4 game to date in
That's
Japan.
cool.
Anyway, yeah, like I mean, it's come up in the past. Like Capcom said they're not going to localize Double Cross here, and people were not happy. And so he's asking basically, now that World has blown up, if we think there's a chance they will reconsider.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
After this, I think there's going to be another like kind of stopgap, like like an ultimate type version where we get like G rank stuff. That's been kind of the cadence for releasing Monster Hunters. You get kind of the base one, then
Yeah.
you get
Like
the one that
improved-
adds
these
adds a bunch of like super high difficulty
Super Monster
stuff.
Hunter.
Yeah, I think we'll see that before we see anything else
If
on the
anything,
Switch.
yeah. If anything, I think it would be less likely that they would bring it over
Yeah.
in the wake of World taking off. Because isn't Double Cross a more traditional,
Definitely.
old style Monster Hunter game? Like that's not this. It
It seems like they're moving away
kinda,
from that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm.
It's
Wasn't-
not the direction.
Is Double Cross a port of a previous game, or was it a
No.
totally original game for
Yeah,
Switch?
Yeah, I mean that was
not like it's-
Generations. That was
Okay.
the ultimate version of Generations.
Oh.
essentially
Wait, so it's a 3DS game?
Yep.
Ported to Switch?
ported to
Oh, no,
Switch.
nobody needs that. Never mind.
I think
All right.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case,
Yeah.
then let's say no. Capcom will not do that. Hopefully. Let's see. Peter writes in from Sydney, Australia. My partner and I will be heading to the U.S. later in the year for a couple of weeks, and neither of us have ever been there. Specifically, we'll be going to L.A. and Vegas, and because you guys have such an illustrious selection of fast food, I wanted to know which franchises are essential to try out. If you could have any fast food for the first time again, which would it be, and which ones should I avoid?
I would just have, I don't know, like if you're really just coming here for the first time and that's like on the list, then I would say like go to a McDonald's and go to a Burger King.
I guess.
No,
Yeah.
it ain't no Hungry Jacks.
Go to a McDonald's and then go to an In-N-Out.
There's a Fat Burger in Vegas.
Shake Shack.
Fat Burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shake Shack is not
Yeah.
bad.
I like Sonic a lot.
Yeah.
I think there's a Sonic in Vegas.
I'm actually
I think
starting to think like maybe it depends what you want out of it. If you want good food, don't go get fast
don't get
food.
fast food.
Like I mean,
With a
try
couple
a
of
Big
exceptions.
Mac,
Yeah.
try an In-N-Out
Yeah.
burger. Like
Yeah.
they're good, but they're
Yeah.
not like good burgers. But if you want like the full fast food experience, go to a Taco Bell, go to a KFC,
Yeah.
go to an Arby's.
Yeah. Although I have to
And
assume
then he'll
the biggest,
never want to come back to the States again.
surely some of the biggest franchises are in Australia already.
Have you guys had the nacho fries yet from Taco Bell?
No.
They're really good.
They're not
When-
bad.
When they're crispy.
Is
I
it-
got
is
a
it just-
batch the
is
other
it-
day and they were
Is
completely
it just a
soggy
seasoned fries
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
with cheese
Yep.
on the side?
Mhm.
on the side.
I
They're
don't know.
nacho
Okay,
cheese.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Mm-hmm.
They're not fully
Really
dressed.
good seasoning. Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
They do have, like a supreme version. Like
You can also
kinda-
put them inside of any order.
Oh, I was going to ask them if they
you're
could do
feeling-
that.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, they need to put that on the menu.
Huh.
Or just keep it secret menu. Give me my damn burrito California style.
Okay.
With those fries. Oh, yeah, I'm going to try that.
I'm going to say go to Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A?
That's the one.
Do they have those out west?
They have them in L.A. I don't
In
know
LA?
about- I don't
They
know
have
about
one
Vegas.
in
Yeah,
Central.
there's a few up
There's a
north.
couple
too.
Okay.
There's
around.
Oh, yeah, there's one in like
one in
near
Rohnert Park.
Concord
There's one
area.
in Santa Rosa. There's one in Novato.
Okay.
Yeah. Vacaville.
Yeah, I have
Mhm.
had it out here.
I haven't been to one in 10 years.
Yeah. But there's definitely some in L.A.
White Castle's in Vegas also.
Is it?
If you want a garbage experience.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you like trash.
Hit up that, hit up that White Castle. I actually miss White Castle every
Wow.
now and again. It's
you-
disgusting.
I've
you
only
just
eaten
get
there
the
like
frozen
twice
stuff?
or something. And it
You
was
can,
just
but it's
it's not the
so
same?
not the same.
No.
So not the same. Oh man.
that stuff seemed terrible when last time I went.
Yeah, and it's got a certain rank to it
Mm-hmm.
that's not appealing sometimes.
Ooh.
But I don't know. It gets in your system, and I can't. There's
That's
there's
a
times.
tapeworm. That's called a tapeworm.
Gotcha. But yeah, there's times that I just crave it.
Get a crave case.
Oh,
That's why they have it.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken rings.
I've eaten a whole bag of those. Oh,
So
yeah.
and I did when I went too. It's a bad time for me.
And the ranch ones.
I was bummed.
Get a McGriddle. I feel like that is one of the best fast food items that you
Yeah.
can get.
Yeah, they serve those all day now.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Breakfast all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like God intended.
Mm-hmm.
Nick from Rocky Mount, North Carolina, who apparently has written in before. He was a guy who was contemplating a pet scorpion.
Okay.
and
Oh,
says that he did not get one.
Great.
good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, done good, Nick.
Jeff purchasing a retail copy of Paragon reminds me that GameStop still sells boxed copies of StarCraft II Wings of Liberty and Evolve on PC. Both these games are available for free online and, at least in the case of StarCraft, require an online activation to even be played. StarCraft II is only $9.99, but that's still more than free. Why hasn't GameStop taken these games off the shelf? Is there any kind of regulation that says they shouldn't be able to sell them?
I gotta say, there's still probably like a segment of people out there that just shop at GameStop exclusively and really don't know what's going on. They'll see that game on.
Yeah,
Their whole business is predicated
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
that.
You're,
I
you're
mean,
definitely
yeah.
you're definitely right about that.
Or
They're-
like kids, right? Like,
Yeah.
But
kids
like-
with their parents, and they're like, "Oh, like they have a budget limit, and they
Like-
see StarCraft for $10."
He's kind of totally right about StarCraft though, that because if you buy that, you still have to make an account and
Right.
get the Blizzard client and all that shit. And once you've done all that, you could just download StarCraft for free.
But if you,
so-
but owners of that first StarCraft 2 got
you're
the second
right.
one.
I bet that
think.
that
So-
does get
There's
you.
got to
the
be some
second
kind
one.
of bonus to.
I bet that
buying it.
totally qualifies to get you
Yeah.
the second expansion.
And Evolve got you like, hey, players of Evolve, you get all the ultimate skin
Ooh.
pack or whatever.
Oh.
that
Like-
you can look at in the lobby because no one's playing
right?
the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
God, I actually kind of want to look up Evolve concurrent. Did they shut that game down?
No.
It's still technically up, right?
Man, what a
It's
cool idea.
still technically up.
There were over 400 people playing Evolve
Oh.
at its 24-hour peak.
Hmm.
So not totally dead.
Okay.
Kind of
Somebody's still having fun.
very
Cool.
close to dead. Yeah, no regulations, no nothing that I'm aware
Yeah,
of
but
that would
I
stop
think
that
I feel like
stuff.
in both those cases there are items you would probably get by buying that.
That's
that-
my guess,
that
too, yeah.
At least it's not a total law. Well, yeah.
Indeed. Let's see. Email from Joel. I work at a reseller in the UK. He has to mean a PC reseller who also builds machines in-house under their own brand.
Oh, cool.
At some point last week, I decided to check the prices of graphics cards against our pre-built machines. In some cases, it was actually cheaper to buy a full PC with a 1080 Ti in it full hog than it was to buy a 1080 Ti from other sellers.
What?
The issue is our delivery dates are out of whack, mostly because it's first come, first served. We say a date and then whoop, no pushed back a couple weeks until the next shipment of cards comes in. I also get to hear the sales team deal with Bitcoin fanatics all day, like Rasta Man, who wanted to buy 2,500 graphics cards, probably for mining.
25, you think?
No, I just like to play games at 4K and get fucking blazed.
He's starting an esports boot camp.
Yeah.
And he needs to make
Yeah.
sure.
Nothing
It's
shady
Rasta,
about that.
I'm starting Rastaman Esports. We're gonna get blazed and do big plays.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
All right. Smoke ganks, a lot of smoke ganks.
Yeah, tons of smoke ganks.
Yeah.
He just concludes by saying that it's currently one card per customer, or
Yeah.
NVIDIA will be unkind to them. So
I saw
there's your weekly update.
Is
on
that like a store
the graphics
enabled,
cards calamity? I don't know.
or store
I don't know.
enforced
don't know.
policy?
He
Because
just-
it
he
doesn't
just
sound
says-
like an NVIDIA.
We
policy.
currently have to tell everyone it's one per customer, or NVIDIA will rain down on us.
Maybe
Look,
they-
Rasta man, you know the rules. You got to play by them.
No, I do not. I am Rastaman.
I saw on a forum the other day somebody posted a screenshot of Walmart.com, and there was, I think it was technically like one of those algorithmic like third-party ads served from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But literally on Walmart.com, a 6-pack of 1080s being advertised,
6-pack.
like in the sidebar, as a 6-pack. Like they
yeah.
used that phrase.
Sure.
handled on the
Yeah,
box.
some little plastic rings around
Yep.
them.
Yeah.
I saw on Mass Drop, it was like a 1080 and a motherboard for like getting relatively close to retail price on that stuff.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, the Bitcoin price has been fucking tanking
Oh,
hard.
that's right. I forgot. We're in the middle of
yeah,
potentially the bursting of the bubble. So maybe next
No,
week.
you see, it's just the time to buy. You
Yep.
just need to. This is the time
Buy.
to get in.
Get in low.
The 5,500 wall will hold.
Is that what it's down to?
No,
hit
it
7,000
got
yesterday.
it got
I saw
under
those.
6,000 last night.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. All right.
That's been.
While I was recovering, I bought a little tiny bit of one altcoin just because I was like, I feel like I'm missing out on the zeitgeist. I'm gonna put it like $20 into this thing. Cashed out with $23.50.
Nice. That's right.
Not bad.
Please make sure you report these capital gains on your taxes. You owe the government $7.
Oh, okay.
Email from Christopher. What's your personal favorite types of aesthetics in video games? Like how Brad's not very into organic-looking armor, or Dan can't stand fantasy settings, but the opposite.
You're talking about
So
purely
he
like
wants-
visual?
More or
he
less,
wants
yeah.
favorite
Sounds like,
kind?
yeah, art style, visual type stuff.
What gets me going?
like
80s
cel shading.
cyberpunk stuff.
Yeah.
Snatcher.
Sure.
That noir stuff. Also like some really good like aesthetic, like Hyperlight Drifter speaks to me on levels.
Pixel art.
Yeah.
I
I
like-
mean, it's got to be like a kind of a minimalistic kind of pixel art.
I like modernized pixel art. Right?
Yeah.
I like stuff that looks like it should have been on the SNES, except it couldn't have been because
Yep.
it's got just enough crazy shit on top of it that it wouldn't have worked.
How do you
Okay.
feel about in Celeste the fact that everything is very pixely except the character portraits?
That weirds me out.
Yeah.
And, like the fonts are super crisp,
Yeah.
even though it's like
a little
super,
little jarring.
I kind of don't like that juxtaposition. Yeah.
I like Res.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Yeah.
That's it.
I can see that.
And Cosmic Smash because it kind of looks like Res.
Yeah.
I like cell shading a
Yeah,
lot.
cell
Same.
shading.
Um,
I don't see a lot of cell shading these days.
Mad World, I think, was one of the coolest looking games.
Beautiful Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Mad World the black and white one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Greg
Okay.
Proops.
Yeah. Wait, really?
Yeah.
What?
Poopsmania,
Yeah, it was hot off of, after
episode 1.
Yeah, after
Star Wars
episode
fame.
1, it was like, man, this guy can be a commentator, can't he? We should get him for this.
Yeah, visuals. I mean, I really like the visual from Final Fantasy. Like looking at the Dissidia characters, and they're just like, I like over the top anime ass bullshit a whole lot. But I don't like it out of context of over the top anime ass like video games. Like if the game is trying to kind of play it
Like
straight.
if it was on like a silk shirt
yeah
with flames behind it, you would maybe not be into that, or you would be double into that.
Or like a game like if a villain comes out of nowhere and he looks like he should be in a Final Fantasy game, I'm like, that just looks silly and lame and out of place. Like
Plastic guns, like Mass Effect style.
okay,
Like
Destiny,
basically the whole Mass Effect aesthetic, but especially like sort of plastic looking elegant future with a lot of lens flares.
I can see that.
I'm into that. Let's see. David from Raleigh, North Carolina. Do you think there's still any more room for console controllers to evolve? I was just thinking that we've essentially been stuck with the same controller design since the PS2 17 years ago. Things like the PS4 touchpad have gone mostly unused, and gyro controls, as useful as they are for aiming, haven't been featured in any console shooter games other than Splatoon, to my knowledge. When looking at things like position-tracked VR controllers and even weird experiments like the Steam controller, the traditional console controller starts to look downright archaic.
Back in the day, like, it was third parties that were making those innovations. If you look back at like the NES, you had stuff like the Activator, you had the NES Max, stuff like that. But nowadays, in order to evolve from that, you've got to like add some sort of functionality, which is not going to be supported by, the manufacturer proper, so you're not going to see many crazy controllers like, from out of Mad Cats or something like that. Especially nowadays because they're kind of gone, but kind of back, I think. But so yeah, there's not too much to like add to that. We're seeing some innovation with like the touchpad stuff, but that's even kind of falling by the wayside. That's not really being utilized.
Feels incredibly wasted at this point.
Yeah,
we're out of fingers.
Yeah. Like I like where we're at in terms of number of buttons and that sort of thing.
The Xbox Elite controller has those paddles that kind of duplicate the face buttons, and it's like you're supposed to use your ring and pinky finger, I guess, or I guess maybe your middle finger. Well, no, ring and pinky down there with these 4 kind of on the back of the controller buttons. So you could theoretically do that and have those be separate inputs. But I think that's a huge leap with weak fingers, and I don't know that would be very good.
Yeah. I don't feel constrained by the standard design at this point.
When you look at the games that are
fine.
coming out, I mean, these controllers, and you have to wonder, like, is it a chicken? Is one influencing the other?
Right.
Probably.
Yeah. But then you have stuff like Elite Dangerous being brought over that worked on a keyboard and now has been translated pretty well to a controller.
I feel like he kind of undersold the touchpad. I feel like the PS4 touchpad, it's used properly in some games.
Like what though? I'm trying to think.
I like it in I like it when like it's pull up a map because it's a very easy kind of light button press.
I'm with you, but not enough games use it that way.
No, I don't think enough do, but I don't think it's a limitation of the controller.
No, I agree with you.
But also, they're usually just using it as a button, as opposed to the touch part.
So
it's just like it's become a select button.
The games that do it right, like The Witcher 3, has got some gesture-based shortcuts, like because you have to dig like 3 levels down to get to say the map or whatever. But it's like I think it's like a swipe up on the right side of the thing goes straight to the map. Stuff like that.
It's also a different
would be super
style of button. It's like easier to like double tap or like hold in some ways. So.
I even appreciate it when games differentiate left and right presses on that thing because then that's 2 buttons instead of 1. But not enough games even do that, unfortunately. I don't know. I like where controllers are at just fine right now.
I think it would take a more dramatic shift in the types of games.
Like VR controllers are still being figured out.
Right. And that's a case where like, the next round of those is going to be very much about like tracking or, having things for your other fingers to do as opposed to just your index and thumb.
Yeah.
Well, especially because just that VR is so tactile.
Right.
It's about the metaphor of physically picking things up.
And that's where you're seeing like, it's in some ways the ultimate realization of the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely think things are going to move more towards like a big touchpad type area. Kids are, learning how to use iPads and tablets, and they're going to be more and more used to that.
It always blows
style
my
of
mind
control.
seeing like 6-year-olds on BART just like going through their iPad. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
man.
my son-
Checking their emails,
Yeah.
balancing Excel sheets.
Looking at the hardest core pornography you've ever seen.
Negotiating corporate acquisitions. I mean, they grow up so fast. Steve from Baltimore. With the Giant Bomb hockey jerseys soon to be released to the public at large, I started thinking that maybe not everyone is going to go for having their own name on the custom jerseys, but might want the real players instead. In the spirit of a conceptual Giant Bomb sports team, my question to you is this: what would each of your jersey numbers be?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I'm guessing this exact same person sent me this question separately.
Okay.
Because it is kind of an esoteric thing. Or two people came to the same conclusion at around the same time. I was kind of thinking about it. Is we should just put that on the page, like, hey, if you want to get our quote unquote official numbers, and each of us picks a number, to go with it.
I call 1.
That's okay.
22 for me.
No, I want 11.
Oh no, I was going to say 11. Damn
Okay,
it.
Brad can have 11. I'll stick with 1.
22.
Is it 0-1 or is it just 1?
You could
0,
get either. I mean,
just 1.
All right.
X1.
I was thinking 00 for a little while, but I was
Can you
also
do
thinking 40. I don't know.
I guess it doesn't matter, right? It's just for announcers to say, right?
Right.
That's the only rule.
66.
There we go.
Nice.
All right.
Is it limited to 2
I
numbers?
think it is. Yeah.
Roman numerals? Could we do that?
No,
Okay.
probably not.
XDX.
I assume we're expecting a low enough quantity of these that people can, like a human being, can just sign off on all of the names being entered.
That's probably how it'll go.
Okay. As opposed to needing some kind of obscenity filter or something.
Yeah. I think there will be a filter in place, but like, I don't know what the right answer is. I think that'll be a case of we'll know it when we see it and go, no, fuck that guy.
There's room to be a little funny with things, but don't be gross.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think we're going to be like the cops about it. But
sure.
I'm trying to think like where the line is. If someone wanted to put fuck face on their jersey, would we stop that? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe not.
What if their nickname is Fuckface?
Right. That's not, like, okay.
Who are we?
Billy Ripken.
I'm going to put...
Yes.
Never mind.
All right.
Redacted.
Save that one. Keep that one private.
Too gross.
Not gross enough.
Okay.
Save it for the after show.
Corey from Spruce Grove, which he says is near Edmonton,
All right.
where BioWare is.
Okay.
I was listening to the Beastcast and their bit on frustrating games, and it got me to thinking about an old Genesis title I had called Sword of Sodan. My dad had bought me a bunch of used games from a coworker, and this was one of them, and God, it was awful. To date, it is the only game I have ever forcibly ripped from a console and thrown across the room. My question for you is, have you ever played this atrocity? And if so, what can you remember of it?
It fucking sucks.
Okay.
Did it have really big sprites in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like a Conan the Barbarian looking,
Yeah.
like sword fighting kind of game, side scroller.
Yep.
You would get potions, and it was like a roguelike almost. Well, maybe not. It was like different colored potions, and you could take as many of them at a time as you wanted. And so combining different potions would give you different effects, and some combinations would just kill you.
Oh, great.
And also the combat was shit. I think it was originally an Amiga game, and that version might have been a little better. But that Genesis release, I actually streamed that out of my house not that long ago. That game sucks shit. That game is fucking garbage.
Okay.
Oh, it's so bad.
Is there a worse Genesis game?
Yes.
Why are these sprites so big? They don't need to be that big.
That's, in the wake of like China Warrior on the TurboGrafx and stuff, where the whole thing was like, look at this big dude.
Yeah.
Just punching and kicking these
Yeah.
potatoes.
It's crazy.
I never really considered until now how vaguely messed up the name China Warrior is.
I think I'd have to look. I forget what it's called in Japan. I think it might just be called The Kung Fu or something.
All right. That works. Let's see. A couple more emails. How about Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
yes, the Kung Fu. That is what it is called in Japan.
That's pretty good. Here's an email from Cole in Orlando. I'm playing through Celeste right now on the Switch, and while I'm not very good at it, I can't help but wonder if some of my mistakes are due to the game not translating the movements I intend to make. The D-pad on the Pro Controller and Joy-Con don't seem to be doing it for me, and while I've had more luck with the analog stick, I still make more directional mistakes than intended, where diagonal jumps are critical.
I've heard that.
The D-pad on the Pro Controller is not good.
It's not amazing. I can't help but think that if I had that click stick from the Neo Geo Pocket Color, I'd be able to better control games like Celeste due to its diagonal prowess. Do you know of any other controller out for either PC or any modern console that has something even close to the Pocket Color's click stick? I'd even shell out the extra cash for an Xbox Elite controller if there was such a module for its D-pad slot.
There's not.
It's not.
What is the click stick?
So yeah, they had something kind of similar. I think they brought it out for a Marvel game. So yeah, on the left side, it was that kind of clicky stick. It was an analog nub, but it clicked in all 8 directions. Then it had a 6-button layout on the right hand side. I want to say Mad Catz made that.
No. What was it on the Pocket Color? I don't.
It was like a
It was a nub.
It was like the NES Max, like that kind of thing. You can kind of put your whole thumb into it.
Just slide around?
But it didn't slide.
Okay.
But you would just the part you put your thumb in would be like that, but the whole thing would click in a direction. It was like it would pivot.
Yep.
Okay.
And it would have very loud clicks when you would pivot into those directions.
Okay.
Did you ever see the Neo Geo CD controller, the gamepad?
so.
That had the same thing.
I mean, I played it using a regular Xbox 360 controller, and it's working out really well.
Also, not the best D-pad ever made.
No, but
That depends on which one you have.
yeah.
The later 360 controllers were not so bad. Those launch ones. Oof.
Yeah, no, it's a later one.
Yeah, man, the D-pad situation on the Switch is not
I've heard
ideal.
I've heard people talk about Celeste and the way it reads diagonals from the Switch being an issue.
Yeah.
The Pro Controller and diagonals can be tricky.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because Nintendo, I feel like, has always had the best D-pads. Like,
Yeah.
right up until this, basically.
Yeah.
All right, last email. It's signed Game Wizard. The Game Wizard.
Who freed him?
And the entire email is Ninja Gaiden 4 dirt bikes. Think about it.
Yeah. Shinobi did it.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, they had a motorbike sequence.
Which one?
Revenge of the Shinobi?
Did it really?
I think. Or is it 2?
I don't know that I've ever finished Revenge of Shinobi.
2 is Revenge of
Oh.
Shinobi.
Yeah.
Uh,
There is a Shinobi 3, right?
Yep.
Which is separate from Shadow Dancer?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
There is.
What about hover
yeah,
bikes
it's in
instead
one
of
those
dirt
games.
bikes?
Hover bikes?
Yeah,
I
why
don't
not?
know.
Ninjas and hover bikes. That sounds
I
fun.
guess so.
Right? I feel like that enables more like standing on your thing and doing a flip onto somebody else's, and it like when they land, it kind of does that
Yeah.
like
Maybe
bob.
scrapes a little bit.
Yeah.
Some sparks, and you
Yeah.
go, whoa. Get into
Those can go, like,
stunt position.
sideways.
Yeah, sideways along a wall.
Yeah.
Should they make another Ninja Gaiden?
Sure.
Only if it's a sequel in like gameplay and everything to the NES games.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Like I wouldn't want like a Sigma, like that
those-
type of
those-
game.
those
Like
Teen Ninja games kind of.
they're beloved.
Yeah. Well, maybe 3, not so much.
Okay.
Was my impression.
Yeah.
That controller was PDP, by the way.
What's that?
Oh, God.
The click.
Yep. Look at this
Stick
god
business.
thing.
Oh, wow. The thing
It's
is
gross.
it's pretty ugly. I became aware of the Super Nintendo Ninja Gaiden trilogy recently.
It's like
Have you
remakes
ever
of
seen
1,
that?
2, and
Yeah,
3.
it's like SNES.
Yeah.
It's basically Mario All Stars for
Right.
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
We should check that out sometime.
Yeah. Did that
But-
come out here? I don't know.
I don't
if it
know.
did.
I don't know.
think
I
it
found a
did.
bunch of footage of it on YouTube. The music is offensive.
Hmm.
Ninja Gaiden's music is so good on the NES.
Yeah.
It's not so good on the SNES.
What?
It's not. Sorry. Sometimes you need the square wave. It's the only way to go.
You need it real.
That's right. All right. Giant Bombcast. Bombcast at giantbomb.com.
Giant Bombcast at podcast.net.
That's
Send
right.
us all your emails.
Head on over, zap it,
Email.bomb.
Do bomb.
Cast.
zip us some emails, zip them up,
That's right.
put the zip in an ARG file, rar it up, put it in a zoo.
Put the zoo in the cloud. Put the cloud on a computer.
Flange us over some ecoms.
Mm-hmm.
And then just give us a call.
Skype it to my inbox.
Yep. That's how it works, I guess.
Send it to me on Discord.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of,
That's right.
Yes?
After show.
Oh,
Do it.
triumphant return.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Well, return.
Okay.
Yeah, give me a week.
We'll see. We'll evaluate the triumph.
Yeah. So
After the fact.
if you're here watching live with us, hang out. We'll
All right.
take some questions. We'll
Okay.
take some calls
Shortly.
shortly.
Not very long at all.
Yeah,
after
I'll
this.
get up, walk out of this room, maybe drink something real quick.
I'm gonna cram a ham.
Mm-hmm.
A whole ham?
Stick a ham in your face.
Just a hammy Sammy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. Stay tuned for that, and we'll have a bunch of other stuff going up on the site throughout the week.
Yeah.
And that'll bring us right up to next week for another edition of the Giant Bombcast.